Uh, Namaskaram, everyone. So, welcome to the first ever live session, Q&A session with all of you. I really appreciate that all of you have taken out time and created a time for this Q&A session on a very short notice. It has been nearly 1.5 years so far that I've been on a yatra. There has been many reasons why I did the yatra. So I've also already created certain kind of posts already. So I really appreciate. I think many of you are seeing me in video and hearing my voice for the first time. So so welcome everyone. It's a huge crowd here. So without doing further ado, I'll just take questions from all of you. So I'll try to as brief as possible for the answers, and then give as straight answers as possible so that it will be useful for all of you. So before I receive any questions, I'll just give you the little bit of premise behind this yatra and what are the few key points I took away and why I was in such an extended part of the yatra. So initially, I think everybody knows, Sadhguru initiated the Save Soul movement last year, and we're also on fire and doing volunteering. But as things progressed, I saw that, a lot of the people slowed down. That was a little bit expected, because whenever we met the some people on the road or any other public spaces, and when we explain them about Save Soul's significance, people are shocked, as well as they are very much interested that this kind of movement is taking place. But if we went and met those participants, people again, we found out that it is the Save Soul movement was sort of old news for them, and I think that is the reason that Sadhguru was throttling continuously. But at the same time, we also found out that not only the other regular people, but the Isha meditators themselves were also sadly slowing down in terms of Save Soul volunteering. So at that time, I finally realized that why Sadhguru was saying conscious planet. And through my own experience also, one of the key things that was missing was the lack of energy in their system. And just like Sadhguru says that if you don't have enough energy in your system, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to maintain your consciousness. And the whole reason behind mapping the energy spaces was because not everybody can always travel to Isha Yoga Center. Not everybody has actually enrolled into the powerful programs like inner engineering and other advanced programs from Isha. So we wanted to ensure that a majority of the people can actually make use of the energy spaces around their places. So because of that reason, we started mapping the energy spaces across the Indian subcontinent, so that they can actually make use of these energy spaces and do the sadhana. So I'll just take the questions. You guys can chat in the chat box, write in the chat box, so that if you are new to this Q&A session, live session, just like me, on the bottom, there's a comment section as well as the questions. You can just chat in the box, so that I can give, some of the queries you guys must have. Okay, I have received a question on Sambalpur. Please kindly share about Bilva, which is not in the posts. So now most of the information that which I've already shared were actually shared previously in various posts, as well as Kanapan Anna, who was very much intimately connected in those various yatras that Sadhguru has actually done at the Sambalpur. So rest of the information, I highly request that, one of the reason why I'm doing the yatra, and you might have also seen that I'm not sharing many things, not only about the Sambalpur, but various other places also, because we want this as a possibility for you also, rather than just getting the information, because at the end of the day, just the information is going to end up as the inspiration, or at the least entertainment. So I request you, you can just you can just I can just share you the contact of Kanapanana. He's always welcome, and as you already know that he's building the practice hall also on the top of the building where Sadhguru stayed during his visits at the Sambalpur. So you can please make use of it, so that you can get much more information. It's very a wild, and I would say that if you visit Sambalpur, it will be very much attending the exclusive Isha program. And I would say that if many of us, just like me, who have felt that we came to the Isha towards far more later, because in the past that when Sadhguru just started in Coimbatore itself, where the Isha Yoga Center is, very few people came to Sadhguru, and then they were able to spend more time with him, more intimate kind of thing. Yeah, there was that kind of opportunity was there. And now, since Sadhguru is on the huge larger projects, including Safe Soil or Conscious Planet, or now a lot of things also. So because of that reason, now I think by the time maybe in next few years, we'll also have Adiyogi in Odisha also. Maybe at the time, a lot of people will be going to Mukteshwar, which we all want. But at the same time now, if you visit in next 1 or 2 years time or something, then you will have the exclusive time with Kanapanana himself. He's going to share you whatever he knows, and the different kind of experiences. It is a place you should visit, that it was a privilege as well as Sadhguru's grace that it happened wonderfully well for us. And many of the other meditators, they have also seen the video that I shared, and then they have also already visited. So please make use of this as a possibility rather than the information itself, because just like Sadhguru says that these things he has brought out as a possibility, so that you can explore and make use of it for your spiritual growth and progress. So I would to take any other questions also. Many of you also might be wondering that what is the significance of doing all this yatra and everything. I've already mentioned earlier. But if you are looking for some of the places you really want to visit, there are a few of the list that I can give. Of course, the first one is going to be the Dhyanalinga. If you have not been there, you can also explore a Linga Vairavi temple and Yogeshwara Linga. And in 2024, we'll be getting the Kala Vairava also. Apart from that one, there are a lot of very powerful Sadhguru Sri Brahma energy spaces spread across, not only in Tamil Nadu, but they are also in Uttarakhand also. And there are a lot of things also which I would like to share, but it has to come from your side also. You guys need to ask the question. I'm just making myself available here. If I'll share what I know and everything, I think it is going to be very generic, and it is not going to be very much useful to you. But if you ask any specific question, I'll be more than helpful to help you explore to the depth it is possible for me. So another, if you are a Devi devotee, of course, like now we have got the Linga Bhairavi temple in Kathmandu also, which Sadhguru has consecrated very uniquely. It was a unique process, and she has got like the third eye also very powerfully established. If you have never been to Nepal, I would say that it is one of the most powerful places. Still, we do not know, like the origins of the Kathmandu Valley, how it has come to be. But if you ask me, it actually has got the huge spectrum of whatever different types of energies that you can experience. It is available in a single valley. It's that crazy. I would say like that kind of place I have not found anywhere in the world. Okay, so of course, like just like I mentioned, if you are looking for a very Devi, powerful different forms of Devi, I cannot miss out Kamakhya. If you want to go to the Kamakhya, of course, she is in the form of the Bala Tripura Sundari on the top of the Nilachala hill. She's very, very powerful. I think if you ask me, like she's overpowered. She's so powerful that like I think if you have seen the post I shared about the Kamakhya, it's quite crazy that I didn't even enter her sanctum. So it was that powerful. Okay, so I got a request from one of the participants. So like I'll just like accept. Though should not be like too monotonous from my side. And one of the reason I tell about the Kamakhya is basically it's so powerful that like she's known the name Kamakhya or the Kameshwari for a reason, because in my experience, like she's too overpowered. I wouldn't recommend people to go and sit there for a long time unless you have been initiated into the specific kind of practices from there itself. It's too powerful, to be honest. In my entire life, like the next day, even after I woke up, the energy of the Devi was still within my system, and she was like her energy was like so captivating and everything that like she wouldn't let me go out of the temple premises. Okay, I've just accepted like one of the requests from the account. So okay, I've got like a few questions. So I received a question first from like a Devashish Anna, like he has asked like how to observe the energy of energy spaces. So if you, the first thing is if you want to observe the energy spaces, there's no shortcut. Some people are very receptive to the energies by various reasons. I'll not go into too much detail, but if you want to be receptive to the energies, you have to work on the sadhana. I would recommend that like just doing the kriyas is not good enough. You have to go and start working with your volunteering. Just like if you are initiated into Shabbai Mahamudra Kriya, you will have the opportunity to work with the Isha volunteers also at different projects. That is going to break all of your limitations. So eventually, like if you want to experience certain kind of energies, then you have to also be, evolve spiritually a little bit, which basically means you have to tone down your psychological aspects and everything, which you cannot do just by yourself, because if you want to use your mind to do that, it's impossible. So that is the reason Sadhguru has given different tools. So you can make use of the Bhakti Sadhana, you can make use of the Karma Yoga, volunteering at ashram or any of the event that Sadhguru offers. Now, very soon, Sadhguru is consecrating the Mahashula and Nandi in 15th of January. So you can also make use of that if you are in or around Bangalore. So you have to do the sadhana, and like well, the energy spaces are not usually one need to absorb the energies, but it can also break open your shell, because most of the people visit temple regularly, but most of the people have not come into that experience. So the very powerful energies can actually accelerate your receptivity also. Okay, thank you. much. So I've just like I think Smriti Akka joined. Like, do you have any questions, Akka? Okay. In meantime, like Akka is asking the question. There's another question from Partha Anna. So he said that like how to get enlightened energy level quickly as possible. So first thing is like just like Sadhguru says, we should not be directly looking into the final destination, but we have to look at where we are at the moment, because whatever we do not know, it's going to be just the illusion. And the first thing is like we just need to know that where we are at the moment. So since you are talking of the energies, the best way to do is start with the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, and then you can slowly start with uh, go forward with the lot of kriyas like Surya Kriya you can work on, which is purely spiritual in nature. And then you can go for Sakti Chalana Kriya, which is very, very powerful to build up the energies. I would share my experience. You should not take it otherwise and everything. You can build so much energy that you can build the energy as big as the mountain also. It might sound like a little bit dramatic and everything, but that is what it is. If you don't have too much energy in the system, which we actually refer as the ojas, you'll not be able to experience anything. Without the ojas, like there's no spiritual process, you can say. So if you are looking towards what we refer as enlightenment or something, let's not discuss that. But by ramping up the energy, just like Sadhguru gives the example of the bulb. So if you ramp up the voltage or something, whatever you need to see will come into your perception. And eventually, like I'll just like give a little bit of clarity on that one. So whatever we actually refer as the enlightenment or something, I wouldn't go too much deeper again. But the thing is, your search has ended, you're overflowing. That is what it is all about. So if you want to go as quickly as possible, in the history of humanity, I don't think like anybody has provided such kind of possibilities as Sadhguru has done to the larger mass. So please make use of all the advanced programs. Okay, I got another question. Like, is it okay to do chanting Om Namah Shivaya after Isha practice? So if you are living in the ashram, or staying in the ashram, or you are going for the full-time volunteering or something, you will have the opportunity to chant this Mahamantra in the mornings at the ashram, of course. For outside, like please speak with the Ishanga. I'm not the Ishanga or the Swami, or I don't have that authority to guide on the any of the practices. But of course, like if you are staying in the ashram, you have the possibility to do that. So I got another question also. I'm preparing for sadhana pada, but I am not sure, very sure I'll be able to get through. So again, I'm not the best person to guide because I've not participated in the sadhana pada, but I'll just suggest that like whatever you feel, not only for you, but I think like it actually applies to everyone, that you just need to do whatever you have found to be the best. For example, if you feel that sadhana pada is the best for you, you just go for it. Whatever you think is best for you. For example, like for me, like if you ask me personally, I've not found anybody much more bigger and a bigger possibility than Sadhguru himself, and that is what I'm striving towards. And then I just want all of you to join me towards that goal itself. And don't worry about the results, because at Isha, like we are trying to become as much as process oriented as possible, not the goal oriented. Okay, I'm getting the question again. So I'm just like sharing the my experiences, because I think some of the questions are getting a little bit like it looks like I'm guiding somebody spiritually. So I'm just like please do not take this as I'm guiding anybody, but please take it as I'm sharing my own experiences. Uh, so I have a question from Divyansh Anna, that Sadhguru says, with grace we pass through life easy. I'm in intense struggle. Am I not in His grace? Okay. So basically, like this is the question that I think Sadhguru has answered many times. So basically, like just like Sadhguru has already said, is one thing is he has given a tool, one thing, but at the moment, like if you use the tool, the clarity will come by itself. So the thing is, we're trying to fix the solution without having a clarity, without using the tool. So depending on the type of the problem, you have to use that kind of tool. For example, like when I did my inner engineering and everything, and when I did my Bhava Spandana, huge challenges came my way. You cannot believe. Huge challenge came my way, and then you should take it as a blessing, because now you are becoming aware of these struggles and challenges. Because many people, many people, almost like most of the people, I should be honest, because like you are taking your time and you are asking, so you should be very grateful that like you are becoming aware of these struggles, because most of the people just like sleep through these struggles. If you are becoming aware of the struggles, now you can make use of the tools that is provided by Sadhguru, and then now with that, like you will get the clarity and hopefully like go through that one. But we need to understand that like without tackling the problem, nothing is going to be solved. Even the enlightened being like Sadhguru, he has to drive through the entire continents, from Europe to Africa to Asia, all these kind of places, nearly touching Africa, not completely touching, but you must know that without the clarity and without making use of the tool, there's no solution. So I would suggest that like you are very lucky that like you are seeing all these challenges in your life, and only when you see the challenges, then only you can go through that one. So that if you go through unconscious awareness, this will repeat in your life again. But if you go with the clarity, this can be the last time you will be facing these struggles. So please make use of the tools. If you think that like whatever you are doing is not good enough, you can make use of the energy spaces that is provided by the Sadhguru. And of course, like with a minuscule effort from my side and many volunteers who actually traveled with me, who have identified some of the energy spaces, possibly around your place also, you can go and do your sadhana over there. The energies are 100% going to work. Otherwise, like we wouldn't be, spending a lot of time, and even Sadhguru would not be throwing his energies out and concentrating all these magnificent energy spaces. Okay, I think like I'm just like looking into some of the questions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, volunteering experience is fulfilling. Like there's no such thing as a volunteering experience. I think like if Kriya is a sadhana, you would say like if it is a gardening, you can say that volunteering is more like it looks like volunteering at Isha looks like you are working, but volunteering at Isha, you can say it's more like harvesting your sadhana. Because I've actually broken a lot of limitations through my volunteering, and I've also like experienced very profound experiences through volunteering. I would like to share one very profound experiences. There are too many actually, too many experiences actually. I've already also got one YouTube channel. I don't want to promote the YouTube channel, or like I don't want to promote myself too much. It's the need of the hour. Like I just wanted to share like what made the impact on my life and share. There's a YouTube channel called like a Hardcore Spirituality. You can search in YouTube. I've actually like shared a lot of series on that one. 20 series is there. on my spiritual journey, which will cover most of the things, the challenges a seeker is going to face. So one of the reasons like why I actually created that was whenever I meet any new volunteer, they would always ask certain things and it become too much repetitive also. So I did that one. But like if I want to share you a volunteering experience, there are a few things like I would like to share. Initially, like I started doing volunteering at the ashram. At that time, like a lot of limitations I broke. Initially, I thought that, okay, I could actually do more important thing outside the ashram rather than spending my time there. There are a lot of them, but like I would like to share the most significant one because like there are too many of them actually. So I've done volunteering for the Mahashivratri. I've done the volunteering for the Vavasvandana program. I've done the volunteering for a lot of inner engineering programs, completions. I've done the volunteering for ground volunteering for Kaveri Calling, Rally for Rivers. We actually volunteered for the entire stretch of Sadhguru's programs across the Karnataka stretch. And there are a lot of things, like even like recently the sexual events in Nepal, as well as this sexual event of Sadhguru in Nepal. Apart from that one, like Bhairavi Utsav and Bhairavi consecration also. But like I would like to share one very, very profound experience. When I was volunteering in the ashram, like there was a very, very rare opportunity in which like you have a rare possibility. You'll have a rare possibility you'll have a very, very rare possibility of serving the brahmacharis. Because at the ashram, if you know that there is a separate section and only the brahmacharis, they can share, they can actually serve the food at the Bhiksha hall. So I had the opportunity to do the volunteering over there. And at that period of time, there is a separate process. I'll not use the name here. People who are done volunteering in the ashram, they may already know there is a separate silence program for the Swamis. So basically what actually happened was, fortunately, by the grace of Sadhguru, we had the chance to serve the Swamis for the first time, because all of them are in the silence for many, many days, just escaping the details. So basically, like the Swamis just entered the hall and everything. And for me, like in my experience, like it was not the Swamis coming in or the Mass coming in, but it was the Sadhguru himself in the most powerful form. If I use the word Shiva, I think like even that will be limited, because I've never seen Shiva, but I've experienced Sadhguru to his more raw form. So for it was not the Swamis coming in or the Mass coming in, but it was a Sadhguru himself coming in. I had the opportunity to serve the food to them. And since then, like whenever I see a Swami or a Ma, it has never changed. Whenever I see Swami or a Ma, like it's just like Sadhguru to me. And because of that reason, like I always approach to them that way. It has been a rare moment, like I'll not take a specific Swami's name or something, but whenever a specific Swami came, like I was approaching him just like I approached Sadhguru. I don't know like how I control myself and everything, but it's very difficult. It was difficult like that, but I now like I learned a little different way. So this was the limitation, and there are many, many things that I have to share, and but I think like it's going to be like a too overwhelming and everything, because this is a public Q&A session. I think many of you have got even more profound experience than me. I think like this should happen to everyone, that like you break a limitation that has the nature as well as we ourselves has created on ourselves. So yeah, like I think like that was one of the volunteering activity experience. There are too many of them, so I would not like to use this time. You can go through my YouTube channel called Hardcore Spirituality. You can take your time and go through that one. I'll just make use of this time so that I can address as many questions as possible. Thank you for asking and giving me the opportunity to share. Thank you. So I got a question for Aka that what is living life to the fullest in your experience? So, so this is a very straightforward question. So as we know, what we actually refer as a life and everything, just like Sadhguru says, it is neither in the past that we have already lived or the imaginary life that may happen in the future or even the next moment, but it is here. Again, like I'm just like sharing my experience. Don't take this as any kind of teaching or a guidance or anything. So if you really ask me, for me, like if you ask me that there's no need for me to do that yatra also for me, because after doing different programs from Isha and different encounters with Sadhguru, physically or many different ways. I think like there are many Isha meditators who are in this one, and a few of you are just the seekers, or some of you like are just curious what this guy has to say here. Many of you already know like what Sadhguru is capable and everything. So in terms of like if you are looking in terms of how to live the life to the fullest, is basically is the highest intensity of this life itself, and you are just going to be overflowing. For example, like I'm here at the moment, I'm just overflowing here, like sharing what Sadhguru has given to me. It is not mine, like whatever I'm sharing and everything. Sometimes some people, see my post. There are many incidents that are these your words or this is Sadhguru's words. There has been certain kind of post going on around regarding Samyama also. So basically like it's just like overflowing experience. I wouldn't even say experience also, because if you say experience or something, you are going to just reduce it into the word, but it's just overflowing. If you say like exploding ecstasies and everything, even like if you just ask me, by the grace of the Sadhguru and everything, I can explode everywhere, anywhere, like even without doing anything. But Sadhguru has like created certain kind of things to himself. The Sepsal movement was one of that. I was committed to do my hardcore sadhana, and many of the people who are close to me and like who have been traveling with me, they already know. But there are certain things together. So like just to come to the answer, one thing is like leave the just like a pitch your energy to the highest, or there are two ways: highest, or you just become available to the grace of Sadhguru or any of the other divine energies or whatever you have access to. So with that, whatever you are looking for, you become that, or it's already here. These are just the words again. I don't want to give you answers or something. Sadhguru is the only solution. I'm just like in the Instagram or social media or YouTube videos or something, just handling the banner that, Isha Foundation works, Sadhguru works. If you are a seeker, you'll just arrive what you're looking for, and that's it. That's it. What is all about? Because what we actually refer as a fullest or living the life, just like Sadhguru uses the word something conjus. I think you must have heard the word. If you are like, not living intensely or something, then your action will also be limited. So you'll just like try to do whatever is possible in your behalf. So yeah. So living in fullest, if you look at yourself, just like Sadhguru says, the profoundness of experience and then the impact of your action. So I think like that sums up too much. Thank you very much for the question again. Okay, I got the same question from Akka also. Can you please share a bit more about others? So yeah, so now finally like we are exploring the realm a little bit about mysticism. So if you ask anyone, there's no spiritual process without ojas. There's no spiritual experience. Okay, that is the reason like there have been many people. For example, even me, like before coming to Isha, like I've been doing Buddhist meditation for nearly, you can say, 4, 5, 6 years or 7. I lost the count. I'm not keeping track of any time anymore because I don't have too much time to look back into the past. Only when like people ask certain kind of questions, like I just use them as an example because like these were my limitations and they were my steps through which I came. So I was doing Buddhist meditation for a long time. Why I'm using this example is because even if you are doing any kind of practice or any kind of spiritual practice, whatever you have learned from somebody else or from the YouTube or something, which is very dangerous, to be honest. Don't try to become a book yogi or a wave yogi or something like that, unless it comes from a genuine source. Because most of the reason, like, many people have been doing spiritual kind of practices or sadhana for a long period of time, but they are unable to experience anything or they are unable to do the progress is only because they don't have enough ojas in the system. And that is the main reason behind the Sanidhi.net project also. Because people, to become conscious, there are only one way or only two ways. One way is either you have to enhance your perception by focusing into a specific way, that is a Buddhist way of doing it, which is also known as the dharana, vipassana, or anapanasati yoga, whichever name you want to use. That is one way, but unless you do not become a monk, that is impossible for nearly 100% of the people. I can guarantee you that. I've tried that. You can also give it a try. You can waste your life. That is way of saying. And again, like I'm becoming a little bit of hardcore here. Of course, that's why I think all of you are here for. The another way is just like Sadhguru says, if you cannot enhance your perception, if you just enhance the energy in your system, which is the ojas itself, then just like you have a bulb, just using the same analogy Sadhguru is using, if you have a bulb, and if you just give a little bit of voltage, it will glow only that much, which you have provided the voltage into that one of the energy. But if you enhance the voltage or increase the voltage, the more lighter it will become, the more brighter it will become, and you'll be able to see everything with clarity. So that is the main reason, like, most of the people are unable to do sadhana, or like the spiritual experience actually becomes some kind of folklore or dream or story, is only because they don't have enough energy in the system. So how to get this energy? So there are only two ways. Just like, for example, like now is the winter. I do not know like how you guys are feeling, depending on where you are. But if you are feeling cold, there are only two ways to warm your body. One way is by going in front of the fire, which is basically the energy spaces that we're talking about. For example, Linga Bhairavi is best example. You can just go in front of the Linga Vairavi and you can use their energies to becoming more and more aware. Dhanalinga is another perfect example. Now the another way is like, but is it practical to go in front of the fire always? No, it is not practical. You cannot carry the temple with you. That is where the guru comes into the picture. Sadhguru has given many processes, all the kriyas and everything. So basically whatever we actually refer as a kriya is basically converting the physical dimension of energy that you have in your system to the non-physical dimension, which is actually known as the ojas. So I'll just like share my experience again with the disclaimer that like this is neither the teaching nor the guidance. So at the moment, but how to make use of the ojas? That is the main question. It comes. If you're just like making by itself, but since you want to know a little bit of mechanics, at the moment, what we actually refer as the prana and what is we refer as the ojas are the elusive things for most of the people, because most of the people will die without even experiencing their energy body. They will just experience their thought and emotions and their physical body and they will die. What we actually refer as the prana actually flows through your pranamaya kosha or the energy body. Now this is also the physical dimension, but much more subtler than what nowadays we refer as the electric signals in your body or the calories or whatever, different words that scientists have given. So if you look from the perspective of the Ayurveda, there are 3 dimensions of energies. The first dimension is called the prana. Second dimension is called the tejas, and then the third dimension is known as the ojas. These are more like a subtler kind of dimensions, ojas being the non-physical dimension. So if you have enough ojas in the system, you'll have the license to go beyond and open any kind of dimensions within yourself. And with the advanced programs, I will not reveal too many things here because I don't want to destroy a possibility. So if you go through all the advanced programs from Asia and establish these practices within your system, this is going to be possibility for you also. Otherwise, like I would not be wasting my time here creating all this course, trying to fire up as many people as possible because most of the people are going too slow. Now coming back to the question of the ojas again. So basically, like just like I mentioned that for most of the people, what we actually refer as the prana and what is referred as the ojas are not in their experience. So how to make use of it? That is the reason is basically, for example, like we are alive not because of the breathing that is happening, which is actually expanding our lungs or compressing our lungs, but we are being alive because of the prana, which is actually is the vitality in the system. We can technically see that like a dead person, how much air or oxygen you push into their lungs, they cannot come back to life because the prana has left the body. So now coming a little bit like technical aspects or something, if you want to interact with the ojas, without interacting with the ojas, there is no spiritual process. So because of that reason, the breathing that is happening in our system is connected with the prana, and the prana is connected with the ojas. So basically whatever we eat, that is converted into the prana. That is what is keeping us alive. And just like Sadhguru says, there are different kind of foods which is going to add the prana in our system, and that is going to reduce the prana in our system. I'll not go too much deeper into this one. You can find these videos in the YouTube. So when you have enough prana in the system, it becomes overflowing, and that is where there will be a glow in your system, and that is actually what the Ayurveda refers as the tejas. That is where the word tej also comes.
Tej basically means the glowing or the glowing sun. Tejasvi, Tejasvini, I think you must have heard these words. Many people have these names. Now, but your body will physically do these two things by itself, but it will not go to the ojas. Why it doesn't go to the ojas? Because the body is not designed for the spiritual processes. The body is designed only to keep this body alive and prepare it to continue the next generation. So body is not interested for your spiritual process. That is the reality it is. So because of that reason, since you don't have access to the ojas, what you need to do, that is what the kriya comes into play, because the kriya can actually convert the prana into the ojas. The more you kriya you do, the more ojas you will have. And that is why like the powerful processes like Sakti Chandana Kriya comes into the play, through which you can generate so much ojas. You can create the stack of the energies. You can read a little bit about the significance of this in the Mystics Musings book. I'll not go too much more further than this because I'll be crossing my line here because this is a very public platform. So you can do the kriyas, whatever the kriyas name that is attached, they all are going to convert the prana into ojas. That is what the yogasanas also do. So you can just like learn all these practices, kriyas and practices. And that is the reason, like after you do the kriya and you sit, you can meditate very easily because now there is enough energy in the system. And now like other dimensions can become available to you. But now like if you think that like you don't have enough ojas, like you need a lot of energies, and that is where the energy support system comes into play. That's why Sadhguru is offering something like Sadhguru Sannidhi and Devi Yantra, Avigna Yantra. And there are a lot of different kind of Devi Gudi and Dhanalinga Yantra. This kind of yantras has been provided by Sadhguru so that they can actually provide necessary energy to your system. Again, there are a lot of things, like I think we didn't actually got the questions. Not all energies are same, depending on the type of the consecration, depending upon the capability of the consecrator, as well as the intention of the person, like why the specific form has been created. And that is the reason that like we actually map the energy spaces is also, because whenever we are referring as the energy spaces, we're actually talking about the crazy enormous source of ojas. We're not talking about the other kind of energies. So we are just referring to the ojas. But again, it has got like a different qualities depending upon different natures and everything. That is the reason we give them different names. Some of the Shiva forms are known as the Someshwara. Some of them are known as the Nilakanteshwara. Some of them are also known as the Mukteshwara or the Dhanalinga, Adiyogi, or Linga Vairavi, Kamakhya, Pashupatinath, Kala Vairava. These are all given the different names because although they are the same energies, but depending on the consecrations and everything, they do different things for different purposes and everything. So yeah, so I think like I summed up the question. So it's my privilege to share this information also, that you raised this question, that if you want to make the spiritual progress without the ojas, it's a very, very difficult task. So please make use of the possibility that Sadhguru has offered to all of us. Thank you. Okay, I got another question. Devashishan said, like, please explain more about Bond of Grace. So, Anna, like, please contact the ashram for this one. Like, I'm not actually a part of the 7%. I'm still not enrolled for various reasons and everything. So, please speak with the ashram team regarding this. This is a very, very powerful process. It was known as the Ishanga 7%. Many of the meditators I know, almost everyone in it is enrolled, or like they are part of this program. And if you want to become successful in terms of your I don't know, like I should share this or not. In terms of your materialistic pursuit or your social uh, success as well as your spiritual success, this process actually helps a lot. I'll not go and reveal too many information and ruin this possibility for you. Please make use of this opportunity and please go for it. I would just like to say this to you. Okay, I got like another question. Can you talk about energy spaces you have visited in Odisha? I'll just like go very briefly regarding this Odisha. A few of the places I visited were the Jagannath Puri and some of the samadhis. I think many of you already know the Advaita Guru of Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. The Totapuri Samadhi is also in Jagannath Puri, in Puri. I think like 5 kilometers west of the main Jagannath Puri temple. It's very powerful space. And inside the Jagannath Puri complex, like if you ask me, Jagannath Puri complex is actually I would say the most powerful energy complex in the entire world, where you have got like even the Shakti Peeths and all the temples in the Ismail complex. Why I tell you the complex is because it looks like a fortress, and it has got like a 10, 15, even more temples around that, and all of them are very, very powerfully alive. So that is another temple. And other things like I visited Konark temple also I visited, but unfortunately like the deity is not there. And not only that, like you cannot actually go closer to the place where the deity used to be. So Konark is not the best place to meditate. But like there is one temple like a little fascinating in Bhubaneswar. There are too many temples in Bhubaneswar. I would actually say that like in Odisha, Bhubaneswar should be called as the, you can say, the Kashi of the East. I would like to say, because like there are too many temples. Me and another Anna was there who was traveling with me in the Yatra. And there are so many live temples, but like I couldn't see any people, most of the people not taking care of them, still alive. It was very sad for me to see also that a lot of the idols were desecrated and destroyed and everything. It feels very painful to me. I went to the Mohini temple, the you can say the feminine form of the Lord Vishnu. She was very powerful, but I could actually feel the pain the deity was actually going through. I don't know like whether I should be sharing all these kind of things in the platform. Again, like just take it as a grain of salt. If I don't say this, I think like some of the possibilities will be lost for many of your people. There are too many things. I think you guys are not asking enough. I'm getting like a very, not too deep or any questions what I was expecting. But anyways, I could be more wilder like while I was traveling with other people. But again, now coming back, like Mohini temple was very powerful. Like I could feel her pain of that temple. Other things in that one, like there is one temple called Raja Rani temple, which actually I would say like a lot of temples are very powerful in like Odisha, like in Bhubaneswar itself. Lingaraj is exceptional. It also has got a very big, the complex, energy complex from there. And if you guys have engineer, like there is a very powerful temple also over there, like which is related with the Vishwakarma, and his linga is also very, very powerful. So we just need to understand one thing is, in the past, if you go through the Himalayas region or the Uttarakhand or something, Shiva linga does not necessarily meant the form of the linga or the Shiva linga form does not always necessarily meant it was for the Shiva alone. You have to understand this. It is a recent happening. In the past, in my experience, I'm saying like I'm not the expert in the expert in this field or something, but whichever temples I visited, if you see, even if you see like a Vishnu temple or a Ganesha temple or something, there will always be certain things like linga was there. Why it was kept like that way, why the linga form was used was just like Sadhguru says, the less friction of the energy, it's the best way to store the energy. So different dimensions of energies were stored there. So in the Lingara's temple in Odisha also, like of course the sanctum is very powerful. Behind that, like there are a lot of temples around that, which are very much alive. And this is like one thing was like exceptional linga, also very powerful, which is the Karmeshwar linga. Of course, because like I also studied engineering, like most of the people nowadays. We're living in like a 21st century, so I think like most of us are striving to become engineers. And apart from that one, I was coming back to the Raja Rani temple, like the idol has been removed. But if you go inside the sanctum, the energy imprint is still there. You can go and sit and meditate over there, because this temple is now used only for the jogging. Very sad life we are living in, that these beings were capable of consecrating this kind of powerful forms, investing their entire life and energies and everything. These places are left like this. You have to buy a ticket, of course, to go inside. Maybe possibly if you're local, like they would allow you, you can just go for jogging. And if you go inside the sanctum, there's no deity, no idol, nothing is there, no puja happening, but you can still find the presence of the deity which used to be there. So the yatra was crazy. A lot of things are there to share, but again, like it has to come from you guys what you want to hear, because I cannot go on like monologue. It's an ocean. It's an ocean that I'm just like trying, just like Sadhguru says, that he's going to go without sharing everything what he knows. I think possibly it might be true for me, and I think it might be true for all of you also. Whatever you know, I know if you strive, the time will come. You will be overflowing. You will be overflowing. You don't even know like what you want to do, but you naturally share, just like the spring has broken out from the earth, like the sun is burning. Same thing should happen to you also. Just like the flower is blooming, it only knows how to share. It's not sharing, but like in its flowering, like the sharing becomes the natural phenomena. Okay, I'm just like going through the questions. How are you able to identify these energy spaces, or how are you connecting with them? Okay, so I think like this is a very simple questions. So we always have to give credit to all the beings that whom has actually traveled all across these energy spaces in the past. Of course, Adi Sankaracharya is one of them. We actually visited all these places, not because he was a pilgrim, but he wanted to unify all these like energy spaces and all the spiritual processes and different kind of sects and everything, different ways of reaching the divine. They were in conflict at this time, so he did that one. So he was able to visit all these places, but that is not limited. Apart from that one, like just like Sadhguru says, that our ability to reach the world is like far more simplified, because we are living in the 21st century. And Google is of course there. You can look into the YouTube. You can find the one enlightened being, search in the internet, and you can find the places. But it is not that always that straightforward. There are few also things. If you guys want to do it, because I don't want this thing to die with me or somebody else. I know like many people are also doing their way, but I know like these guys are not sharing enough. So one thing is like to find, one thing is you Google it, you see in the internet, like there are some keywords you have to use. Temple is the first thing, popular temples. You followed with the samadhis, Sakti Peeths, Jiva Samadhis. These are the like different kind of keywords. And then like there are different other things like that you can actually make use of it. For example, like you can use the keywords like, you know, Brindavanam. Okay, Brindavanam is the word that the Vaishnavite way actually uses the keyword for that one. If you are looking into the Sufi mystics, of course, like they have also got very powerful dargahs and everything, which actually technically terms as the samadhis also. These are also the energy spaces. You can just look into the reviews and everything. But once you reach to the point, we also need to understand that not everything is alive. Not all temples are alive. That was the reason why I actually did this yatra. It's not realistic to go to each and every temples. So because of that reason, we actually prioritize the Jyotirlingas first, and then we did the Shakti pits, as well as on the way whichever samadhis we get, and then the enlightened beings that we have read or heard about it. But what actually happens is when you reach to the temple or any of the samadhis, we interacted with the people, and that's from where you can actually get more leads, and you can always find a very very rare kind of places also, which we cannot even imagine, different kind of things. And we also need to understand that not all temples are actually the actual place, because in many contexts you can actually find that the main deity is one place, but for some reason they have actually created the shrine in another place which may not have the energy, and that actually makes this kind of yatra very very interesting and very important also. So coming back to the second question, how to connect and everything, is basically there are two ways we need to understand. If you want to become, connect to the deity or something, there are two things. Again, this is very very sacred to share this kind of things, and it's also a privilege that I would be sharing this, because I do not know all of you are going to search somewhere or something, you may or may not be able to find. There is certain things, something known as the receptivity, and there is something known as the sensitivity. Sensitivity basically means that, for example, the light is coming, I don't have the ability to close my eyes or control how much I want to receive. This is known as the sensitivity. Some other people are born this way, and some other people, because of certain reasons, I'll not go into too much details and everything, because of various reasons and everything, their energy system becomes very sensitive to the energies. Now you need to understand that sensitivity and receptivity are not the same thing. You have to do a lot of sadhana and everything so that you can have control over that sensitivity, so it can become the receptivity. Receptivity basically means I will have the ability to accept or stop from receiving. That is what is meant by the receptivity, and there's no shortcut for the sadhana. So if you want to connect or something, if you have done a lot of sadhana, and then I've seen people who have just done the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, they are very good receptive to these energies. So you don't necessarily need to do the advanced programs or something for this one, but you just need to be regular with your sadhana. And if you have experience other dimensions and everything, then I don't think it's a difficult task for you. Anybody can get connected to the energies. But one thing what I want to iterate two things is, the first thing what you need to understand is do not go and sit into the energy space for too long, unless you have got very stable energy system and everything with your sadhana and everything. There's a reason why you need to do this, because just like we know water is the source of our life, but if you drink too much water, then we'll get drowned. So we have to understand whenever you are making use of the energies or something, you can go and sit and meditate, and then you come out, you don't expose to those kind of energies for too long or something. Again, your energy system will tell you anyways, but you never overdo it or something like that. It's just eating also, because it's empowering, but just like I said, too much energy into the system. For example, you have a battery, and then if you charge the battery too much, which you can handle, of course, with your sadhana, advanced programs or something, your capability to handle, carry the energies, and there are a lot of other things which I don't find it necessary to explain, but that is the one thing you need to keep in mind. And another thing is do not go and sit wherever you want, because the nature of the different energies are going to be completely different also. For example, you should not go being, for example, if you are in a family situation, you should not go and sit next to the deities Kali or Tara or even like a different forms of Vairavi also. Linga Vairavi is an exception, like Sadhguru has constituted in a way, which is, you can say, like it is acceptable for us, like it's conducive for everyone, and it's going to empower us. But the original form of Vairavi is not conducive for everyone. It needs like a certain kind of practices, Kala Vairava or different kind of temples. These are also like a completely different. Or do not try to go and sit in place of like a cremation grounds and everything. These things you should use with the common sense and everything also, because the energy is just like, it's just like the same thing like using the alcohol with responsibility. Same thing, we need to develop the responsibility on this one also. So just like and one thing what I wanted to tell you is, if you are receptive enough, if you enter a certain space or something, I've actually found like many places which is very sad in a way. The pujari was actually conducting the puja in a place where there was no energy, and there was another place where there was a energy. And since this is a public platform, I cannot use the example of the specific temple because it will not be fair for them. So if you just continue your sadhana, these things will come to you naturally. Just like Sadhguru says that the capability in the physicality or physical world can be limited to various things, but the inner dimension is open to everyone. Thank you for asking. So I'm just like looking to the question, okay? Okay, I got like I'll just like I try to become a little bit democratic, and then like I take questions from other people also. Okay. Okay. Yes, Sharananda has asked that how is mantra jap? Again, like I said, like I'm not a guru or a spiritual master or something. I can only share the experience that what I practice and everything. So if you increase ojas, kriya is the only effective way I've found. So I've not tried like a mantra jap or other things. Like I've just tried the Buddhist meditation in the past, and then Isha practices only. I cannot actually comment because I don't know like how these things works in my system. Thank you for asking that question though. Okay, Wanaka has actually asked a very simple question. So, what do you mean by voltage in your analogy? Voltage basically means the ojas, okay, the spiritual energy. So, spiritual energy is the only license that you can actually explore the other dimensions. If you don't have the ojas in the system, then you are just hallucinating. Nothing else is happening. Okay. So Akash also asked like, okay, this is a little bit interesting question that can be applicable to everyone. She has asked that how to decide whether one should marry or not. So it's the same question that like another one has asked regarding like the sadhana pada. So you just need to look that what is the best thing you have seen in your life. Okay, what is the best possibility you have seen in your life that you have to see first. And of course, like if you marry or not marry, it's a personal choice, and not everybody should become a bachelor, not everybody should become brahmachari or celibate, or not everybody should marry. Like it's a personal preference. You can take both of them together, but the main decisive factor, just like I mentioned, that what is the best thing, you look towards that one, because at the end of the day, like whatever we are doing, whether we are married or not, we're actually talking in terms of the time and energy. Time and energy. So like if you get married, like how much time and energy do you need to manage different aspects what you want to pursue in your life? You just need to come to that clarity, and without coming to that clarity, that otherwise like it's going to a trap. Whether you live alone or like you get married, you will get trapped either way. So don't think that like you are alone and then like you are free, and don't think that like you are married and you are free. Like you just need to, just like Sadhguru says, that like whether you are married or not, you should be joyful. Okay. So I got a question from like Isha Devi 9. Anna, sometimes when you talk, it seems like you are stoned, but with a higher power. What can I do to get what you have? Does physical proximity with Sadhguru makes a difference? So basically, Anna, like this is a very, very, very nice question. Thank you for asking. So basically, the possibility is there for everyone. Now, whether you want to make that as a priority or not, that is only the question. That is the only question. So if you have got like 10 things going in your life, then of course, like you will not have enough time and energy to pursue what is necessary for you. That is the reason I think you have seen the post what I shared today. It was about the using the Sadguru as a possibility. If it was possible for Sadguru, and if you have seen that, like even I've got like a, let's say, minuscule part of what Sadguru has to offer within me, if you have seen that, then if you think that like it's worthwhile and everything, then you need to strive. Just like whatever the programs up to Samyama, if you practice, if you go for the Samyama, like don't stay there. I'm just sharing my experience again, okay? I'm not saying that like you have to do all of this and everything. Each of your experience can be different, but based on my experience and everything, like I finished my Samyama program. It was working for me, but I went for the Samyama sadhana again within 3 months' time, and I went for the next one also. So basically, like as long as, just like one of the Anna was asking about, you know, until you do not arrive to the point where you no longer have to go anywhere, you are just overflowing. Until that does not happen, you just need to strive. You just need to strive. You need to strive, and you need to strive. And does the physical proximity with Sadhguru makes a difference? There are two aspects to it. If you have done a lot of sadhana, lot of sadhana, a physical proximity of the Sadhguru can be a hindrance also to many people. Can become a hindrance to many people also, because your emotions will come on the way. Because whatever we are referring as the spiritual process has nothing to do with what you think or what you feel. It has nothing to do with that. So if you're doing a lot of sadhana, it's very good. If you so now like you're coming to the physical proximity of the Sadguru, of course, just like I mentioned earlier, like a Sadguru is walking Shivalinga. Whatever we chant, I think like I'm crossing a little bit of line here, but as I'm just like using the license not as a sadhaka but as a devotee. Just like Sadhguru says that a devotee can cross lines. I'll just like take a license for some time and say that whatever we chant as a yoga shoraya, bhuta bhuteshwara, kala kaleshwaraya, it is the nature of not only Sadhguru, but it's your nature also. It's my nature, it's everybody's nature. Kaleshwara basically means you are beyond time. Bhuteshwara basically means you are beyond space. So basically, you are already beyond like a time and space, which basically means the proximity is just the play only. The play is just a play. So just like I said, like I'm crossing a little bit of line here, like as a devotee. So basically, like a proximity will also help initially, but there are many instances that, but I wouldn't like share too many things so that it is going to hinder your possibility also. Although like I use this privilege to say all these things, but I'm drawing a line. Certain things I've drawn the line by myself, so that like whatever I share here, it should empower you. It should like fire you up, just like Sadhguru has fired me. But I should not like create the unnecessary expectation on you, or like destroy the possibilities that Sadhguru has provided. If you just do your sadhana, just strive. As long as you sit here, you are overflowing. I'm not happy like I'm not happy for you becoming blissful, ecstatic by yourself. I'm not happy. I want you to be overflowing, so that you are going to create the flood, which is going to carry other people also. Thank you for asking the question. Okay, I got a question from the Kush Verma 369 Anna. Anna, what is the procedure to become brahmachari in Isha, and after becoming one, is it necessary to stay in ashram? This question is like beyond my scope, so you can just like kindly reach out to the ashram team, and then they can follow on. Thank you for asking. Otherwise. Okay, I got another question. Like, Anna, sometimes when you talk, it seems like you are stoned, but okay, that is a same question. So after being on this path for a few years, I don't feel like I belong to the outside world. I no longer relate to most people. How do you still function in the material world with a safety and experience? Okay, so this is a kind of the problem like many people goes through. Like many people have asked me also these kind of questions. If I say too many things, like I said earlier, like it can destroy certain kind of possibilities. But since you have asked, and I think like somebody has to answer this question a little bit. But again, like I'm going to share my experience. Do not take it as guidance, or somebody like telling you this is it. You should not be taking like this. I'll give you the example of Lord Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. So if you have heard or like watched, if you have not read, I know like nearly 100% of the people have never read Bhagavad Gita. I can guarantee you that much. They have just heard from somebody else. Even Shiva also, like I don't know, like even 100% of the people have read the Shiva Puran or something. They are not even interested about like a Shiva. Like they just have heard about the Shiva, and just like Sadhguru says, they have just seen the calendar image of Shiva. And same way, calendar image of Krishna and Arjuna also. Again, not the expert of the subject on Bhagavad Gita or any scriptures, but in Mahabharata, when Arjuna was not ready to fight, Krishna actually told Arjuna that you don't worry about the results, but at the same time he said that, see Arjuna, I'm the only one in this existence. There is no other than me. From all the suns, stars, and everything that has born and died in this existence is just me and me alone. No individual has born and no individual has died, but it's me and me alone. So whoever is going to die in this war is only me. Whoever is killing is also me. So the killing and the dying is happening only to him and him alone. So that is the experience of the Krishna. And this is what Sadhguru has also referred, something known as the Swadharma. Swadharma basically means you are established in yourself, the eternal self, the non-changing self. At the moment, like we have identified ourselves with the bodies and taken too many identities. For example, like I'll tell you a classic example. It might irate many meditators, because when you are inside the ashram, you'll say, Okay, like I should not cross the line. So I'll not use that example. But like I went back to the example. Now, if you look into the Krishna, he has that kind of experience. For him, like somebody's dying or somebody is living is same. But at the same time, like he's involved in the war, he's involved as a friend, he's involved as a lover, he's involved as a king, he's involved as somebody's brother, somebody's husband, a ruler, and everything. So why this is actually happening is because you are only making use of the one dimension of the possibility, which is basically the sadhana only. When you actually refer as a sadhana, sadhana technically in this really does not only means the spiritual process that has been initiated to you. The spiritual process is the ongoing process which is happening 24/7. It's happening 24/7. The only reason like you feel out of the place is because you're just doing the sadhana. Once the sadhana has ended, you are back to your daily chores and everything. And now like there's a disengagement that why these people are not doing sadhana. They also need to do sadhana. So how to overcome this is by you can, just like Sadhguru says, there are two ways. You are just trying to strive within yourself. Now what you need to do it is you just like learn to offer yourself. That is where like a Sadhguru's has offered this like volunteering activity. Now for example, like we just like offer anything, just like slippers, arranging the slippers outside the hall, or just like arranging the flowers or sweeping or mopping, whatever you are doing, you're offering yourself. Until you do not get this like this way of the offering, then so many other possibilities will still be locked to you. They will be locked. They will not be available to you. The only way you just need to be available to other possibilities is to break this limitation that the spiritual process is not only about you, because what we actually refer as a you actually exists only in your mind only. Mind and mind alone. It doesn't exist anywhere else. So again, like if you want to use the spiritual analogy, I think you must have read too many times that we're just a drop of an ocean of the divine. So again, like you should not take this as a literal things or something. Sadhguru has provided us with the possibilities. You can just make use of volunteering yourself to certain kind of inner engineering program or Bhava Spandana, which is also very, very powerful process, and Shunya or Samyama programs, or even Mahashivratri is coming up. So please make use of it. It will slowly unfold. Just like our ignorance, if you look into our ignorance is not a one-day work. It didn't happen that we were fine, and then just like this we became ignorant. It didn't happen. The ignorance also took many stages, or like a time, or layers and layers of layers. So it will take a process also, that time. Of course, like there are other processes also, just like Sadhguru mentioned, that he's capable of delivering all that. But the main thing is because of the, again, this is a very sacred thing, but I think I need to share. Because of the social situations, as well as a seeker nowadays in 21st century, including myself, we're not 100% ready for that, to go from ignorance to enlightenment in rocket mode, or even just like this mode. So we have to just make use of the possibilities that is available to us. And then I recommend that like we can all make use of the volunteering opportunities, so that can actually help you to connect with further other people, so that you can actually bring that essence at home also. Again, do not take this as advice or anything. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm neither the Shanga or something. You just please take whatever I'm sharing as a disclaimer. Thank you for asking. So I'm just like looking for other questions. Anybody else want to like speak also? They are also free to join. Okay, so Anna has asked that like, yes, sure, Anna, in your experience, how is Brahmananda Swarupa chant connects us with Sadhguruji? Okay, so I'll not go into like too much things that in my understanding and everything, in my experience and everything, but I would just like iterate what Sadhguru has said. What Sadhguru has said is out of, just like I mentioned earlier, that what we actually refer as a spiritual process is beyond mind and body, which basically means it is beyond time and space. So if you have been initiated or you are receptive to Sadhguru's grace, or if you are connected to Sadhguru in certain way, whether you are initiated into the particular program or not, again, I'm not the right person to like answer all these kind of questions and everything. You have put me into the corner, but since you have asked, Sadhguru has mentioned that he has actually invested a certain period of time so that the energies, his presence is going to be very, very intense during the period of 6:20 to 6:30 in the evening. And it's very explosive. If you ask in my experience, that is the only thing I can share. It's experience of many, many people also. So basically, like this is the time. This is the time you just follow the instructions of the Sadhguru. This is the time when you don't need to visit any temple. You don't need to visit any of the energy spaces. The energy space is becoming available to you for that period of time. Now you might be asking the reason why it is not available throughout the year, throughout the day, or something like that. There might be various reasons and everything, which I'm a little bit sure of. But again, I should not be crossing too much of a line here and everything. But I would like to say that Sadhguru mentioned that like it requires a lot of energy to sustain and maintain that energy of that high intensity. So please make use of the time. Just like I mentioned earlier, that if you are sitting in meditation during the time and following what the Brahmananda Swarupa chant, which is a consecrated chant by Sadhguru, which is available on the Sadhguru app, please make use of it. You don't need to go to any temple. Just like you are sitting in front of Sadhguru, if you see. But like I mentioned earlier, that it is beyond time and space. So Sadhguru is also everywhere. You are also everywhere. Thank you for asking. Okay, I'm not getting more questions. I think you guys are satisfied with whatever I'm saying, or like it has become too much. So I'll just like take the opportunity, since there are no questions. I'll just like take the opportunity to say thank you to all of you for joining for this first ever call. Okay, I got like some questions here. Before I take that question, like I would like to share one thing. We have got the website called sannidhi.net. It is still in the progress of being updated with the energy spaces. It has got many different objectives. It's not only about the energy spaces, but the another thing is like although many beings which we think who are not available at the moment. If you see, like a Sadhguru is the only being like who is capable of consecrating very, very powerful spaces. Uh, like we are able to like consecrate, Sadhguru is able to consecrate yantras and everything. But if you look in the past, like there are thousands and thousands of temples. But at the same time, like these temples are not being used to the optimum way. For example, if you visit certain kind of Jyotirlinga, it has become more like a reel making place. Of course, I'm also making a reel in a different approach. You don't have a place to meditate, but of course, like if the energy space is very powerful, you can just sit outside the sanctum also. The energy is not denied by the walls. The energies can actually go through the walls. Okay. Okay, I'll answer all the questions. Okay. I'm just like waiting so that I'll make use of this, first of all. So one thing is that, and another thing is, as more meditators will visit these temples, the way these temples are being used will also become, adaptable according to the needs of the people coming there. Because at the moment, like if people are just coming into the temple and they are going away, if more people will come and then like they'll sit meditate or something, slowly like these places will become a place for meditation, and that will be the reason these realized being and capable beings in the past must have consecrated these places. So that is the another objective also. Now like I'll just go back to the question. Okay, I'll just like go through the chat box. I think some of them are not being displayed to the question. So okay, I think like I missed like some of the questions. Just a second, let me go through this one. I'll just like take like a different participants so that I can answer. Okay, I think like some of the questions are not being visible in the chat box. That is the reason. Okay, I got the question. Okay, so I got a question like, how old are you? Like I just became like a 40. Okay, so 40. I'm that old. Can you save this live session in IGTV? Of course, Akka, like this will be saved in the IGTV. Like that is the main reason, so that these things will be available to everyone. Okay, we'll be posting this. I'm just like scrolling through the questions because I've seen that like not all questions are being visible there. So. I got a question. Can I jump into Shambhavi Mahamudra without doing preparatory asana? So you are actually like, I'm not the right person to answer this. And another thing is, never ever ask this kind of questions to non-Ishangas or a Swami. You should always ask the Swami, because if they will give you the wrong, somebody will give you the wrong instruction, you might be doing wrong thing, and you will be doing wrong thing with your system. Okay, so never ask. First thing, never ask any kind of practices, questions to fellow meditator. Always go through to the Ishanga or the Swamis. Or you can also write to Kriya support @ishayoga.org. Okay, so Kriya support @ishayoga.org. And another thing is, never try to teach anybody what you learn. Okay, you can just share the benefits. You can share like how it is working for you, how it is improving your life. Never share, because it's not only about teaching. You might be thinking you are helping someone or getting a help, but you are actually creating a lot of very entangling karma. Okay, so please do not do that. So I'm going to do inner engineering next week. I'm registering any tips. So it's a privilege that you joined this session, and if you are going for the inner engineering, you just go to the nursery class. Okay, you are going to the school for the first time without any expectation. That is the best way, and then just follow the instructions of Sadhguru, and everything will happen the way it should be. Okay, Akka. So my question is whether I will go to BSP and any other advanced programs, how to receive it gracefully. Okay, so if you are going to the advanced programs, I would like to suggest what other meditators in the ashram also suggested to me, how it has worked wonderfully to them. So the first thing is, like, if you are going to the advanced programs, like you can go to the ashram or like make use of the local center at your place, and at least like a volunteer for a few days, if not a week, at the ashram or somewhere. Because what actually the volunteering activity does is because, just like Sadhguru says, that 99% of your karma is basically what? It's basically your likes and dislikes, your limitations. So if you just do volunteering, like willingly and everything, that is going to, prepare you for the advanced programs. So volunteering, you go to the ashram, you go to the advanced programs, and do not do your own thing. You just go over there and just follow the instructions, and it will work for you. Okay. Please do volunteering before you do. That is the best way. Okay, I received another question. What does connecting to the energy deity means? I hear people tell me about it. Okay, if you are not able to connect to the deity, again, like I said, like you just need to do a lot of sadhana, a lot of volunteering, and just like I mentioned earlier, do not try to do your own thing. Okay, do not try to do your own thing. Just like Sadhguru says, if there is a higher energy or higher presence is there, you should not be doing anything. You should not be asking anything. You should not be analyzing anything. You just be available to it. Just like when the sun comes, you don't need to try to do anything to, get the sun, the heat of the sun or light of the sun. You just need to be available to the sun. I got a question that what were the most eye-opening or intriguing aspects of our yatra? I think Akka, that is going to be the very long thing I need to share. Swanil Akka has actually asked. So I'll be creating a separate video in my YouTube channel, possibly for that one, because that is going to take maybe a few days, if not weeks. Okay, so because if you guys do not know, I've actually visited more than nearly 600 to 700 energy spaces. They're actually we can actually find 5 to 6 times more based on what I've understood and everything, but it has to end somewhere. So I culminated the yatra. There are other things also need to be. Okay, Akka, Sunil Anna has asked, what is your opinion about marriage for Isha meditator? If you are asking this question, if you had asked this question a few years back, I would have been given different answer. But this is a very, very positive thing, because if you know about the Saptarishis, all of them except Vishwamitra was actually married, because all of these Isha meditators, all these not the Isha meditators, possibly at that time they were the, you can say, Adi Yogi meditators, the Saptarishis. They were given the responsibility to prepare the next generation and raise the consciousness of the entire population. So if let's say a brahmachari, let's say a male brahmachari is there, let's say, for example, let's say me, I may not have that necessary skill or necessary, feminine grace and understanding on how the society works, because it will be a very lopsided and one-dimensional kind of society. So when you have that is the reason in every ashram in the past, even the Saptarishis, like I mentioned earlier, they are married, so that a person who is coming into the ashram, they actually get the holistic kind of approach to life. Because at the moment, whatever we refer as a spiritual process or marriage, it is just about life and life alone. So I think I answered that question. I've already addressed a similar kind of question last time. Okay, what is the connection of Kanappa in his previous life? Did he ever spoke about it? I think you missed the video, Anna, so I recommend you to go back and watch all 5 part series. If you want to dig more further, you can go to Sambalpur again. You can just ping me. I can share the detail how you can actually make use of this entire yatra and everything. If you know that like what I've shared is like highly exclusive, it's actually not. Like it was only presented in the most sophisticated way. There are several videos you can find in the internet, like which other meditators has also gone. The only reason like it actually reached to a lot of people was because it was a little bit shorter and it was presented in a way that you can make use of it. It's not my right to share somebody else's exclusive personal informations, whether it is Sadhguru or like me or anybody else's. The information was already public, and many people who have reached Sambalpur, like Kanapanana has actually openly shared to people, and these videos are already available in the YouTube, and he has also shared these things and more with me. So all of you like who are much more interested to know about Sadhguru's previous life, Bilva, and also make use of the possibility that is available at the Mukteshwar temple, you should do this Karma Yatra of yours. Okay, Akka has asked, like, can you share a bit more? So, Akka, like, you also need to watch the entire 5 series, okay? So, it's already there. 5-part series is there. So, do you think it would be possible to go for advanced programs of Isha from Nepal? Yes, of course. Like, recently, like, so many Isha meditators has already gone for the Samyama program, which is going to begin very shortly in next few days. It's possible for everyone. Will you be going on a Kailash Yatra with Sadhguru this year? Not necessarily. And yes, of course, physically no, but like Sadhguru is always with me. So you will be with me like whether I go to the Kailash or not. So that question is both a yes and no. Okay. Physically no, like presence wise, yes. Now, okay, I got the same question there. I think what was the okay? I think I'm getting similar kind of action. And I'm from like Assam, so here we have Kamakhya temple, so I visit there. What should I do to feel the energy? Okay, so I got a question for Fung Square. Like, whatever the processes that the Sadhguru has taught, like whatever initiative you should do. Like, there's no specific. Like I said, I'm not a guide. I'm not a spiritual teacher or anybody. I'm just sharing my experience here so that you can see that like whatever is happening to me, like it's possible for you also. You don't need to do anything. You just need to focus on your sadhana. And if you ask me, like whenever I go to these places, like it will hit me just like the wind is hitting me. Okay, so it's like that. So there's no specific sadhana or anything to do that. Sorry about that. I'm getting some burping. I'm from Uttarakhand, been to most concentrated places. When I do my practices at this place, they are effortless. But is that the only thing I initiated a Shunya to experience? Okay. So Siva's tribe, Anna has actually asked me that, so basically like, what we need to understand is visiting to too many consecrated spaces is not going to make too much of a difference, because the main objective, like if you look into like the Sannidhi.net, is not made so that you will become a tourist or a yatri like me. I was doing because like nobody has done this kind of mapping in the past. If somebody had already done it, like I wouldn't be doing this, because for me it's not needed actually. So if you don't need it, then like there are 2 ways you can do it. One thing is like you can just like I think like I answered this question to one of the Akkas asked about the ojas. So either you need to do Shakti Chalana Kriya or like any kind of practices. Even Shambhavi also works for many people. It has worked for millions of people. Okay, because all these people have not done like advanced programs. So basically like if you think that like, okay, it is not working for you in many places or something, then the one thing is you can go for the advanced programs, add more practices if you are not satisfied. Another thing is you can just like bring Linga Vairavi Yantra or Sannidhi home, and then you can practice also over there also. So these are the one of the things. Just like I gave the analogy of like sitting in front of the fire or creating the fire yourself. Okay, so if you do a lot of advanced programs, then you are creating the fire yourself. You don't need anything, and that is of course like how all our swamis and mas are actually powered up. And even Sadhguru also, like you have not seen Sadhguru sitting in front of like any energy space, or you can actually put us on fire. So. Okay, so Bikash Shanna is asking please talk about something about Pashupatinath and Guheshwari temple near of it. So Pashupatinath and Guheshwari temple, both of them are very, very powerful. Guheshwari, of course, is one of the most powerful Shaktipits recorded in the scriptures and everything also. I'll not go too much into the detail because this question is a very, very broad what you have asked. Of course, a Pashupatinath, it's not possible to go and sit next to that one because there's not too much of a space because of the crowd. Guheshwari, you can experience from outside. There are too many energy spaces, of course. You can check it out in the sannidhi.net. If I ask anything specific, I could have answered actually. Can you make a list of energy spaces what Sadhguru did in Karma Yatra before Dhanalinga consecrations? Yeah, of course, there is already a few of them already. So Karma Yatra, if you want to know, it's in the book itself. If you have read the More Than Life, the biography of Sadhguru, it's already there. These are the Raigad, where Bilva belonged to, and Sambalpur, of course, the Mukteshwar temple. And finally, the third part was actually associated with the Sadhguru Sri Brahma, which is basically also associated with the Palani Swami himself, which is basically the Someshwar temple in Kadapa. So these are the temples. All of these will be added in due time. So of course, I've just completed the yatra. So yeah, okay. So it will take some time to be added into the website because I'm the only one here doing this. Okay, I think some of the questions are very repetitive. I'll just go through this one. Okay, just a second. Okay, I think I've already answered this. Should we share the sadhana experience with anyone, or it is hindrance in our sadhana? So this is the things like I mentioned that I've actually drawn the line. So I received a question this from this is a last participant. So I would recommend that because initially I was also a little bit very open to discuss about to many people, but slowly I realized there are a few things I cannot share it here which are very, very sacred in nature. There are two lines you need to draw as a spiritual practitioner. Okay, it's good that whenever you experience certain things you always want other person also to benefit, but there are two things you need to draw a line. The first thing is you should never share your experiences with anyone, and the second thing is you should not share what you practice or the content of the programs. The reason is because see we understand all this karma business. I'll just again, everybody must have read the karma book. I'll just give you a little bit from my experience. So basically whatever advice you give, whether it is spiritual or not, to some people, you have to understand that when you are giving the advice, whether it's spiritual or some kind of advice, you are actually saying that you are ready to take the responsibility of the consequences. So the first question you need to ask is, whenever you are teaching someone, let's say giving somebody advice, spiritual advice, or you are doing practice correction, even the practice correction or sharing your experiences, are you ready for the consequences? Because whatever you share, because all the spiritual experiences are highly subjective in nature, they're always subjective in nature. Because of that reason, if you share your experience with someone, it is going to build the false expectation in the another person, which is very dangerous, and it is going to bind you in a karmic wave also. So the only thing what you can do, it is just I mentioned earlier, you can just share by doing the practices and everything, what are the many benefits that you have actually got from the practices and how you can actually make use of it and where you can learn. That is the best thing you can do. Otherwise, it's a very dangerous game that you are taking the responsibility. Because if you have noticed that even somebody asks Sadhguru certain kind of advice, Sadhguru will never tell what you should do, what you should not do. He's always going to give you the clarity, what are the possibilities and what are the limitations, and leave the choice to you. And that is what we also need to do. And that's how we can progress spiritually rapidly. And we're not going to build the wrong kind of expectation to other people, because some people will be sharing that certain kind of flowering has happened, some kind of I saw green light, I saw Shiva, somebody sees somebody else. These are all, you have to understand that these are all happening through the mind only, mind and mind alone. Because what we are actually referred as a spiritual process and everything has nothing to do with the mind. So one thing what you need to keep in mind is, just like if you have to go from A to B, there will be sometimes there will be rain, sometimes there will be sunshine, there will be rainbow, there will be flowers, there will be different kind of sceneries, there can be mountains. Now, are these things important to you? They can be beautiful on the way or horrible in a way, but does it matter? Because our objective is only to reach from A to B. And let's say another person actually sleeps on the way. They don't see all these things. They still go from A to B, and both is great. So the objective is it doesn't really have any significance what happens on the way. So just if good thing happens, good. If doesn't happen, very good. I think that is the way of the Isha. So just don't get attached to what is happening through the process, as Sadhguru says. Again, don't take this as a advice, because I'm not the Isha. Okay, any other sacred spaces to visit near Guwahati? I receive a question from Toshita. So you can actually visit the sannidhi.net. We have got huge database from the Guwahati and Assam. Okay, so there's a lot of places over there in Guwahati actually. So there's a lot of tantric energy spaces and Devi temples in the Nilachal Hill, and there's a Ugratara, powerful Ugratara temple a little bit away, and there is one Biswamitra cave also in the forest, but I don't recommend you to go alone. If you are going with few other people, it's completely fine. It's in the map also, and that place is a purely yogic in nature rather than energy or different. Okay. Okay, I don't understand the question. Is it music helping or time? I don't know about that one question. Okay. Okay. Akash said but in one video, Sadhguru said Kalavar consecration will happen on 21st, 32, and now this year also consecration is there. Okay, consecration things I might have some ideas, but I don't think it's not a good thing to spoil everybody's. Sometimes the suspense is better, isn't it? For example, if you are waiting for the gift, you don't want to know what will the gift beforehand. Okay, inner engineered seeker says, Namaskar Manda, did you think that you will take 1.5 years what it planned this trip, or it happened? So basically if you go intensely, you can actually do within 6 months also. But the India is a very huge country. Traveling is not an issue in the 21st century. Mapping, the mapping aspects as well as the planning aspect actually takes a lot of time. Itinerary building and everything. So that is one thing. But the main challenge was the weather. Because we wanted to go to the Himachal Yatra for the Sakti Beach Yatra. But you might have seen that, there was a floods last time. We attempted 2-3 times. It didn't work out. For example, if you want to go to the Uttarakhand, it's open only 6 months of the time. And even in 6 months, 2 or 3 months, it's raining all the time. Okay. You cannot take the Yatra. And for the southern part, of course, you cannot go, it's always on fire, during the summer. So after the March, June, July, you cannot actually do Yatra in the southern part of the India, at least me. Okay, so that was the thing. So it was the rather than the it was rather the weather rather than the situation rather than the time. Okay, Anna Namaskaram, please share something about Samyama, anything that comes to you about it. Okay, I think like Samyama is a very, very huge topic, and I think like I'll leave that for now. I think Anna, like you are going for the program, so please go like empty way for now. So, so during Samyama program, tells not to chant Om Namah Shivaya at home, but Margari Sadhana. Yeah, so there's no contradiction or something like that. It's not like a contradiction. It's just like taking a medicine. Just like a doctor is going to prescribe you different kind of medicine in different kind of situation. So whenever a guru is going to give certain kind of sadhana, the guru knows what is the boundaries and what are the limitations and everything also. So as long as it is coming from the ashram, there's no contradiction. So I've got like can you please talk more of the others? I think like I've spoken enough for now. Like I'll just like try to do other things. Okay. So another actually asks like how long you have been doing sadhana. So I do not know possibly how long I have been doing in previous lives. Just joking. But this time like I started doing from 2012. I started doing Buddhist meditation alone, and 2016 I went to Dhanalinga. 2018 I got initiated into Shambhavi. So 2018 from onwards, like I'm officially a meditator. Okay, I got like a very good sharing from Chanchal Akka possibly. So I'm very happy, Akka, that like you feel Sadhguru's blessing and also feel Madhav Ma Parvati present. So that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing, Akka. Okay, one Akka, Swatu 112 Akka, I think like is Akka. So she has asked, Namaskaram, Anna, I've done many practices and now I have very less time to do all this since I'm studying and I'm in a working and studying phase. What should I do? Please suggest. Okay, this is a problem that actually comes to everybody's life. The one thing is like just like I mentioned earlier, like three things I would say. The first thing is you just need to look like what is best for you. Of course, like we're living in 21st century, so you have to balance your materialistic life as well as the spiritual life together. So I would suggest that like if you are doing that now, like it is the time you need to focus on both. Just like try to do the sadhana to the extent possible. Again, if you are asking this question, like you are putting me into the corner, it's very difficult because now like I have to say something. So you just need to like see that like how much sadhana you can do, because the study is also very, very important. But at the same time, like I try to simplify your life. And what I recommend to all the seekers, not only you, but all the seekers, what I recommend is all of you try to look for something known as the passive income. Okay, you just need to look at passive income so that like you will have a freedom to work whenever you want and simplify your life also. Okay, so just like Sadhguru says that sadhana is something like you cannot cover up, like you have to do regularly and everything. But at the same time, if you need to work, do not try to make it too big. Okay, do not make your life like an elephant. If you make your life an elephant, then like if you look into the elephant, what it does, like it looks big and cute and very nice, but the elephant is eating entire day. Okay, just maintenance only, like going nowhere. So you just need to simplify. For example, if you look my life, I've simplified my life. I'm doing whatever seems more significant at that time period, and I just do that. So I'm just like learning from Sadhguru. That's what it is. You're still learning. So okay. Toshida has asked like what important is all these yatras plays in our spiritual life or journey. Just like I mentioned earlier, like there are two aspects of it in terms of the energy spaces. If you look from individual point of view, again, like this is a very broad topic and everything. The first thing is basically like the necessary energy that might be lacking in a system. If you are doing your sadhana very regularly and everything, there's no no shortage of the energy in your system for the spiritual process. That is one thing. Another thing is like if you go to the different places, like you will have access to like a different dimensions altogether. Just like I mentioned earlier, like not all energies are same. Just like whenever you eat the food, like you can taste 9 different kind of tastes. That's why they are called navarasa. Similar to that one, like there are different spectrum of different energies also. So because of that reason, like you'll have possibility. Again, like it depends upon your priority. So it's not necessary for everybody to explore all that mysticism aspects and all. If everybody can do it, like it's good, but it's may not be possible for all of them for various reasons. Again, this call is too short to address all that. Okay, I got another question. I'm expected to build my career, but I want to work on my sadhana and grow slowly. I get distraction from. Okay, so this is the same question that the Akka earlier had. So you just need to have a priority. So you wake up early and then do your sadhana earlier on. So if you do your sadhana early before your family wakes up or something like that, then just like Sadhguru says that like a spirituality is not the disadvantage, but the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, just 21 minutes you practice, is going to actually improve your system. And that basically means like it will need less maintenance and less energies, less food. So basically you will become more effective. So it's going to be empowered. Just like people go to the gym and they are spending like 2-3 hours or something. You don't need to do that. You just need to do like at least, let's say, half an hour or 1 hour of sadhana, and that is going to take care of everything. It's a win-win situation. So it's not a problem for work sadhana. There are many people like who work in Bangalore or like mega cities, like who have actually make use of inner engineering. You can see a lot of reviews and everything. Very successful people. Even like there's a Isha Inside program happens, which is regular happening. Okay. I'm just like going a little bit faster so that I can address as many questions as possible. So I got a question called from Bajrang 19I. How much sleep is enough? So it's not about the quantity, duration, but the quality. So when you start doing the sadhana, like the body will like tell you like when to wake up. So when you wake up, like it's the waking time. So if you do Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, there are like many people have been able to wake up just by 5 hours sleep is more than enough. Sadhguru said that like he sleeps around only like 3 to 4 hours. There have been like I've met like some of them now like we have actually not slept for many days also. So I wouldn't say like this is right or this is wrong or something. It's just like look through your body, and also depends upon like how much wear and tear your body goes through, how much you are using physical activity, mental activity, all these things are done. But the spiritual process is going to rejuvenate your system faster. Okay, I'm just like scrolling through other questions. If I missed any question, please tell me. Okay. Okay, how should you prepare for Kailash with Sadhguru? You don't need to worry about that. No, like you can just like enroll to the program, the pilgrimage. It's a sacred walks is they are going to prepare your entire thing. You don't need to worry about that. It's a yatra of a lifetime. Please make it happen for you if possible. Do you also do same sadhana or no sadhana? So without sadhana, like there's no food. Okay, so you have to do sadhana. Okay, I can see like a lot of motivation, inspiration going on. How to carry Sadhguru's grace with you always? Like I said, like if you want to carry Sadhguru's grace or something, there are only 2 options. One way is you have to become empty, or you have to strive to become like Sadhguru. These are the only 2 ways. How to become empty is basically you just take his vision and then try to take his vision to the people. You just like that is the way of the karma yoga, and the another way is the way of the sadhana. So the easiest one is the offering yourself, but you also need to do the sadhana. If you ask like this Sanidhi.net Yatra was a volunteering itself. So this is a karma yoga for me. Okay, I think like Shilpi Akka was also asking the same question, how to be available to him all the time. Just do your sadhana as much as possible. That is the only way to begin with. And he's always available, okay? So just do the sadhana and that's it. He's with everyone. I think I've already answered the question. Like energy is not technically ojas. Like there are different versions of ojas. Ojas is the non-physical dimension of ojas, or the spiritual energy is known as ojas. So energy is a very vague thing. Okay, there are like a kinetic energy, potential energy, thermal energy, different kind of energy. We're not talking about that kind of energy. Okay, does 8-day silence program reveal secrets past life? Sorry, but I don't want to fantasize about it. So okay, like you don't need to worry about that. Like you can just, if you are interested, like there are 2 books from Sadhguru, More Than Life and Mystics Musings will give you a lot of inside story. Okay, Mystics Musings and More Than a Life by Sadhguru. And during suffering, the spiritual thirst is there, but then things become good and thirst seems to disappear. How does one maintain thirst? That basically means that like you are comparing continuously. You should not compare. You just do your sadhana. That's it. You just do your sadhana. Don't worry about like spiritual thirst is there or not. For example, like we are eating every day, and nowadays, like if you see, many people are eating the food even when they are not hungry. Like people are eating the food by looking into the watch. So what I suggest is like you can just do the sadhana when you can. Yes, Siddhanta Meharana has asked like Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya also helping to turn prana to others. Yes, without others, like I mentioned, there's no spiritual process. Okay, so yes, all the kriyas are designed to convert the physical energy to spiritual energy. Sakti Chanana Kriya is more powerful, and you can generate in large amount of energies, which is more powerful kriya than Shambhavi Mahamudra. Okay, so I got a question for Kurkure Amok, Anna. I think it's Anna. So basically, like there is no such thing as a powerful kriya or the weak kriya or something. So how you actually use it is completely different. Of course, like it's the possibilities, because like all the different kind of processes has got like a different kind of possibilities, Anna. Okay, so there is no such thing as like this process is more powerful than other. Everybody has got like their own different possibilities, so we cannot actually compare. So I got another question: what's the significance of Shanmukhi Mudra? Like I'll just like tell you in terms of like what I've learned and like what I have experienced. So in the meditation, like if you want to go into dhyana or like a pratyahara, I think like if you guys have heard or not, like I will not go into too much technical detail because there are too many questions popping up now. Okay, so I'll just like give like a very short questions. Possibly like we can have in the future more specific topic if somebody will ask if necessary again. So what is the significance of Shanmukhi Mudra? Is like in meditation, like if you want to go to the dhyana, the first prerequisite is actually known as the pratyahara. Okay, even before dharana. Okay, so if you do Shanmukhi Mudra, like in my experience, the experience can be different and something like that. And even Shanmukhi Mudra from Isha, I do not know from other versions from like other, yoga centers or something. But from Isha, like the Shanmukhi Mudra actually prepares you for something known as the Pratyahara. Okay, you can go directly into the Pratyahara by Shanmukhi Mudra. That is my experience. Okay, and if you go to the Pratyahara directly, like Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi can come more easily. That is my experience. I cannot tell more about this because I'm just sharing like what is in the descriptions about the Shanmukhi Mudra from Isha. and my experience. Okay, more I cannot tell because it's designed by Sadhguru. So if you can need to make use of it, you can make use of it. So does some help expand the nothingness or non-doing that becomes possible through shunya? Okay, this is like a very, very different kind of questions and everything, which I will not be able to answer because not because I cannot or something like that, but this is going to destroy the possibility of everyone. Okay, so including yourself. So what I suggest is whatever practices you have been initiated to you, you just go through the practices as instructed by Sadhguru, so that the possibilities will become available to you when you become ready. How to approach energy space? Are there any energy spaces in Delhi? Yes, there are energy spaces. Please go through sannidhi.net website. How to approach energy spaces? I've already told earlier. The only way is sadhana and sadhana alone. There's no shortcut, okay, to approach energy spaces. Yeah, the receptivity, Mahadev 111, Anna has asked that, is receptivity based on person to person? Yes, 100%. Okay. So if you are not able to experience, you don't need to worry about that. See, what I wanted to tell you is experiencing the energy is not the competition or, some kind of goal or something. What you need to do it is are you actually becoming more liberated or more free from your compulsions from yesterday or not? Okay. The energy aspect is there because it will help you to become conscious and so that you can experience. Okay. But if you do not know, if you're just trying to experience and experience and experience, even if you remain in a samadhi for millions of years, you cannot become free. Okay. So main objective is not the experience itself, but how many limitations you are breaking. Okay. So that is the thing we need to keep in mind. That is again my experience sharing. Okay. So in Ashtanga Yoga by Patanjali, why pranayam comes before pratyahara is there? So one thing we need to understand is whatever the Ashtanga Yoga and everything, it is called Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Again, I'm not the expert or something like that. Patanjali has never said these things will come in stages. The only thing that actually comes in the stages are the pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, and samadhi. The rest of the things are just the foundation, preparation for the pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, and samadhi. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. Please do not try anything from the books. Forget about Ashtanga Yoga, forget about Patanjali Yoga Sutra, leave it that to the people who are writing the thesis and everything. If you are a seeker, Sadhguru is here, please make use of the processes provided by him. Okay, because these things is not going to give you a lot of circus only. Okay, sounds of Shisha break. What do you think about Sadhguru Sri Brahma giving mukti to Ganesh in Kedarnath as Kal Bhairav? That is 100% correct. I'll answer that again. I'll be creating a separate video for relating to that one. There is other places also which he has done it. Not only Sadhguru Sri Brahma, Sadhguru has also done it. But that will be a completely whole topic and it will be big elaborate. So I'll not cover that for now because that will be very long question. Okay. And yeah, that mukti is 100% possible. Okay, that is a very elaborate and very, very sacred topic to discuss. So I do not know whether I can speak in public platform like this. Okay, how to make these energies work for us? So this is a very, very important question. This is relevant to my yatra, so I'll answer this. So how to make these energies work for us? So if you know that Dhyana Linga is consecrated for the 7 chakras, so because it is designed for the meditativeness, Linga Devi is actually consecrated with 3.5 chakras because it has to do with the functions of the lower chakras. Okay, lower chakras are basically for the materialistic well-being and preparing you for the beyond. Okay, so depending on different kind of energy spaces, depending on different chakras, if you go to the Devi temples, you will know that these are mostly for the materialistic well-being. Okay, not necessarily all of them. That is the reason, I told you that you should try to, if you are in a family situation or social situation, try to avoid more fierce kind of deities like Kali temples or like Tara temples or Bhairavi temples or Dhumavati, similar kind of temples and everything. You need to like you can go to a place like which is more popular and everything in the middle of the city or something like that, because these are basically useful and they are going to actually enhance the possibilities within you, because the chakras that you have in your system are going to be energized by these deities, okay, based on like how they have been consecrated, and that's how it will be far more easier for you. Okay, any reason? Okay, yeah, this video will be available forever, so as long as like it is not banned or like by someone. Okay. Any reason for closing your eyes while talking? I do that too, helps me with focus internally. Yeah, whatever is happening naturally, you should let it happen. Anna. So if you want to see, you are going to close your eyes, so that's fine. It has no reason whatsoever. Whatever energies are there in the 43 caves of Nityananda Ashram at Kanagar. This is like a little bit off topic and everything. Like since you have already asked and something like that. Since you have asked, okay, this was the one topic I wanted to, like I'll be creating a separate post for this one. Okay. This is also like a very, very big topic. Okay, I think like we have answered all this. Is my question answered? I think you forgot to answer. Okay. Now what is the okay? I think like I know what is the procedure to become a Brahmachari. I used to be very. Dhanvijay Snell Akka is asking. I used to be very particular about my practice. I never missed any practices before doing samyama, but after doing samyama, I just slowly not doing my practices regularly. I don't know why it is happening. Okay, like this kind of practice kind of things, like I cannot actually answer. So you can just like write to Kriya support @ishayoga.org, or you can speak to Swami or the Ishanga. Okay, so in experience, how is Brahmananda Swarupa connecting? I answered that question. Anna has asked the question, can you continue Shambhavi Madhuri if we got a break? So if you have got a break and like if you are not continuing the practice, of course, like this is the same answer everybody will say. So what I suggest is like you enroll into the inner engineering program again and then like get initiated, or you can volunteer for the inner engineering program. So you can learn practice again. Like do not, if you are having a break for a long period of time, like do not restart on your own. That is my personal experience, because let's say like you are not doing for like let's say 1 year, 2 years or something, or 6 months or even 3 months, you might start doing in a wrong way, okay, and wrong way can actually damage rather than doing good. There's another question from Genial Anna, like how to get stroke in Davis Grace. Wow, awesome. So I think like there's a Bhairavi sadhana is coming up. Like please make use of the Bhairavi sadhana. Okay, and do volunteering at the Devi temple if possible. That is going to help. Okay, Rohan Monti, Anna, like this video will be available afterwards. Anna, what is the procedure to become a brahmachari? Okay, this is again like I've already answered that one. Okay, Akka, like I finally answered your answer. Okay, Akka. So, Akka. Anna, please. Okay, I'll be saving the video. No need to worry about that. Okay, I experienced. Okay, I never attended Isha Brahman said. What do you think I should do next to further my journey? So, Union Nature, Anna or Akka, I do not know, but based on my experience, like since you are here, like I think you know that like I'm sharing something useful. So what I recommend is like make use of the inner engineering program, because you are not only learning the certain kind of spiritual process, but you are actually going through a live process of initiation and everything, and Sadhguru as a live guru is available here. Please make use of him, and you'll know the difference. Like I would not go further more than that. Please make use of that one, and you can see, like, if you think for me, like I've done, it has been worthwhile for me. I think it will be worthwhile for you also. Please go through the inner engineering program. Okay, Anna is asking, like, share something about Samyama. Okay, I'll share in a moment. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, there's another question, like how to begin our spiritual journey with Isha. So you can start with the inner engineering program. Okay, so I think like I got a question about Samyama. Share something about Samyama from one of the Anna. There is no more 21 Anna. So I think like many of the people have not done Samyama, so it's very, it's like a very tricky for me also. So if you want to, I'll just like try to share something without sharing everything. So Samyama is a process, like Sadhguru. I know, like it's a very difficult terrain to navigate and everything, because Samyama is my life breath. So if I want to share Samyama and everything, I can share, but like again, but like again, like I'll try. Okay. So Samyama is something. There are two ways you have to go through your life. There are two ways to go through life. I think many of you have faced a lot of challenges in life, a lot of obstacles or something. I think many of you have heard about something known as the Prarabdha karma. You have heard of the Sanchita karma. You must have heard of the Agami karma and all that kind of different kind of karma stuff and everything, something like that. So basically what actually happens is, whenever, why it is easier to do sadhana today and there is difficult to do sadhana tomorrow, is because there is no continuity between today and tomorrow. Actually, there's no continuity. This is just the illusion that yesterday was one day, today is another day, tomorrow is another day, and we see that it's like a sequence happening, that like this day, new day is coming. It's not like that actually. So basically, like what we actually known as the karma and everything is, in a 21st century lifetime, it's not actually known as the karma. So you download the karma, and then you have to go through that one per day, because like when you are exhausted and everything, you run out of the energy, you go to the bed, you wake up, and now like it's just like your body is rejuvenated with the energy while you are sleeping. Same way, like you have now downloaded the karma, and that karma is actually making you go through life. And because of your prarabdha, your runanubandha and everything, lots of situations and lot of things in your system and lots of people you are going to meet will play out. Now, there are only two ways to deal with. One way is like just play the life by itself and you go through the entire thing, or you burn the karma even before it manifests itself. So the entire process, spiritual process, is just that, whether it's Shambhavi or any of the process. Again, like this is very, very sacred thing. And then this Anna has been reaching out. He's a very full-blown seeker, and then he has contacted me in the past also. So I don't think like I should not answer this. So in that direction, that as a seeker, since you want to progress and you want to go take a fast lane in the fastest path possible, you don't want this unnecessary karma to manifest by itself. So because of that reason, like we go through the spiritual process and then burn this karma even before it manifests. And only because of the sadhana in the morning and then whatever you are doing the spiritual process, since they are burnt, they no longer manifest. And that's the reason you feel the freedom throughout the day. But as you go to the sleep and when you wake up in the morning, new karma comes in. This is the game you are going through. So sometimes, just like the gift, sometimes you get the nice gift, the day goes nice if you don't do the sadhana. Sometimes the gift can be like a little bit something you do not like. So these are all the things that is going to happen. So samyama in that way is a very, 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 very powerful process which can dissolve. Again, like I'm just quoting something that is already in the mystic musing and some of the books. Samyama has a power not only to dissolve the not only dissolve the current lifetime of like ongoing karma, but it can dissolve your sanchita also completely. That possibility is there. And apart from that one, like it's a very, very powerful process in dissolving all your karma so that it will prepare you for the ultimate maturing of your being, something known as the nirvikalpa samadhi. So it's a process and everything. So yeah, I think like I should not go more further than that. Okay, I think I answered your question on that. So I have a question. Do you experience time in any for other than just what normal people see? Okay, this kind of question, like I should not be answering because, like I mentioned earlier, like this is going to build the expectation on other people. So I need to ignore this. Does samyama experience in non-doing that becomes possible through shunya? Just finished. Don't worry about these kind of things because see, like whatever we are talking about the spiritual process and everything, spiritual process itself is a non-doing by itself because whatever you do, like it is going to create karmic imprint and everything. So whether it is a samyama or shunya, like they are very powerful processes. They are not going to only leave the do not leave the spiritual karmic footprint, but they can completely erase them also. So Divarat Anna, like if you are in a constant fear of every little thing, the only solution is the inner engineering. Please do the inner engineering. Why you need to do inner engineering is just like Sadhguru says that whatever is happening around us, we don't have a control over them. But what is happening within us is 100% our control. So this is a time, if you think that like whatever I'm sharing for a long time in this Instagram, if you think that like I'm sharing makes sense, my task is just to say that the tap is that way. Okay, so you are thirsty, the tap is that way. I'm pointing towards Sadhguru. So please go through the inner engineering program and make use of it. And you won't be worried about these things. Okay, so I want you to enroll into that one. And since this is a new year, like you will also get the, I think like a 20% discount for the inner engineering online program. So please make use of it, Anna. Anna, like Insta user 112 Isha Anna says, Sadhguru has said there is no purpose or goal to life, yet we are here in Isha enlightenment as purpose or goal. Can you speak about it? Okay, so basically like the purpose or a goal, the body has a purpose, the mind has a purpose, but you don't have a purpose. This is a very contradictory thing. Okay, so if you identify yourself as a body or a mind, then it has a purpose because the body wants to survive. The mind as well as the body is designed to keep this body alive. That is the only purpose it has, but you don't have a purpose. Now you are asking the question that, we're here in Isha enlightenment as purpose or goal. No, we're not here at Isha for enlightenment as a goal. Just like Sadhguru says that you can only begin where you are right now. We're only at where we are right now. So basically, the thing is, at Isha, everything is taught as a process. There's no goal actually. For example, see, I'll give you a very simple example. We know that like all of the people who are watching this video, we are all born. Okay, when we are born, we don't have a choice. Consciously, if you think that we don't have a choice, like we are come to this body, we don't have a choice whether conscious choice that like this body will become a male or female or whatever. We don't know. Okay, so basically, like because of this reason that we don't even know like we're an animal or something. Now we already have a body. We don't have a choice. The only choice we have is to make the best out of this. That is the only choice we have. So why we're doing the sadhana is to make the best out of it. So we just, at Isha, we're just focusing on the process. So that's why we call this as a process. So what is we refer as a self-realization or like a something like that. Like we're not looking that as a goal. We are looking only as a possibility. We're just looking as a possibility, but that is not a purpose. We're just looking as the highest possibility because the life is already there. The life is going to a certain momentum, to a certain direction. We cannot hit a break. Okay, we cannot hit a break to this life. The only thing what we can do it is we can just give a certain kind of direction, and the best direction is what Sadhguru has offered to us through the inner engineering and other processes. We just need to make use of that. What to do when you go to Isha Bangalore, meditate or just sit there? Anna, like since you are not initiated into Shambhavi, you can just like go to Dhanalinga and meditate. You can just go and meditate. Yeah, just go and sit. Yeah, if you are going to, I don't know, in Bangalore, like if you go to Isha Center, you can go and sit in Linga Vairavi. The chant is happening. You can get you can do the chant over there also. They will give you a paper through which you can do the chanting. Certain processes are there. You will also be taught, the Omkar meditation at the Isha Center for free also. There are many processes, okay? But the easiest one is like, I just want you to enroll today itself for the inner engineering program. And you please begin from there, okay? Do not, try to do too many things. That will be very, very difficult. Yeah, Anna, like I cannot take more of your questions. Like I think these questions are very, very similar. I've already answered. Okay. Okay, Kush Verma is saying, okay, yeah, that Kala Bhairava consideration, I'm also like as excited as you, so we have to wait, Anna. Ashram team will guide us for that one. I do not know about the connection between the Palani Swami and then the Ramana Maharshi, so I don't know. So like, if I know, like, I'll let you know. So. I think like we have exhausted most of the questions. And I'm a meditator and I feel drawn to astrology. Can I do astrology? Yeah, like everybody can do anything like what they are interested on and everything. Just like Sadhguru says that like whatever we are doing from meditation or astrology or medicine or anything, whether just like brooming or cleaning or business or something, we're just all doing for the human well-being. So if astrology can contribute to human well-being, then you can do. Again, just my experience. Okay, so I'm also like working with like a software, building software and something like that. So it's supporting my spiritual journey because you need resources, of course, in 21, like in 21st century. In 21st century, like there's no funding coming from like a kings or some rich people as it used to be in the past. So you have to make your own living, and there are huge projects from Isha also, like which all of us should contribute. So please make use of that if it is for everybody's well-being. So Vairavi sadhana and Shambhavi Mahamudra is enough to dissolve one's karma. That has to be asked to Sadhguru, not me. I didn't design, but yeah, it's very powerful. It has worked for me. So in my experience, yes, it dissolves karma. So, but again, like to get the solid answer, like you need to ask Sadhguru. Like if it doesn't dissolve the karma, like Sadhguru would not have given this to us. Okay. So, Namaskar, Ramana. I'm planning to visit Kedarnath this year and practicing Sambhavi and Shunya. Can this help in improving my receptivity, as mostly I don't experience anything in most of the temple? So, what I suggest is like you postpone for time being. Again, not my 100% suggestion. There was like there were like people like who go there, and then like that can also help you to crack open your receptivity and everything. I use this technical term because unless like it doesn't crack open, like the receptivity does not come to many people. It has happened to me through Ramana Mercy before I came to Isha. So what I suggest is like you just focus on your sadhana for now. Like you can go through the advanced programs, because Kedarnath is like a bit far and everything. Like if you are going with Isha, like you can go with Isha Sacred Walks. Like you can get, the guided practices in these places, and it's very conducive for like Isha meditator. On your own, like you can just take your time and then do some advanced programs. And if you go, because Kedarnath is not a place like you can go every year. Like again, like just my saying. So your choice can be different. Just create some receptivity, and if you go like that, it will be the very, very useful. So what is the relationship between Ojas and Kundalini? So Ojas is the environment for Kundalini to rise. So that is the shortest answer. And no Ojas, no Kundalini rising. Okay, so that is the straight answer. I cannot start my day without Shambhavi. So big day. Oh, that's nice. Really, really awesome. Awesome, Eli. I think like it's Akka. So like, and that's great sharing, Akka. Thank you very much. Keep doing it. Is Varif Sadhana Shambhavi Madhura? Okay, that's the same question. Now that mapping of spaces is done, will you be posting often? Like there are a lot of energy spaces. Like I've got a lot of contents like which is yet to be posted in the YouTube video, because yeah, not the YouTube, like in the Instagram. So whatever the video you are seeing, like they are mostly, I think, like 2 weeks old or even a month old videos. Okay, what you are seeing. So I'm not in like not traveling in West Bengal currently. Like we have already completed like many other places after that. So yeah, it will come. So gradually it will come down, because my objective is not for you to get hooked to my Instagram, because like if I'm going to hook you to this Instagram, I also have to be too much active, and my intention is not to become active all the time. So I also have to explore the possibilities that Sadhguru has given to me. I'm just like you can say I'm just like postponing my possibilities, so that I should be able to complete this yatra. That's the reason I was in this kind of mode, so that like I wanted to complete this yatra as quickly as possible, because whatever I've done, like I would say like for some people, like they might take like several lifetimes. Okay, not even a single lifetime they could be able to do this kind of yatra. So it's a lot of taxing, but Sadhguru's grace was always with me, and many people who have actually traveled with me have seen many kind of things happening around us and everything. It's mind-boggling. Like Sadhguru was always there with us. Without him, his grace, like this would not have been possible. So when will be Kalbhairav consideration? So that's 2024. So anybody who is preparing for the Kalbhairav consideration, you just need to ramp up your energies and everything, so that you guys are not going to miss out the blockbuster of the not only our lifetime, but not only this generation, but since Adiyogi himself. So this is going to be something after Dhanalinga. So we missed Dhanalinga, but now we should not be missing the Kalabhairava conservation. So please ramp up your sadhana, like do as many sadhanas. Okay, Jain Anna is also there. So he has also been in a sadhana, like yatra with me for many days. So Jai Ma Kamakhya, Anna, back to you. Okay, I think like a lot of questions are like a very okay. Okay, I don't know about the significance of ear piercing. I've not done it. So. Is any way to attend Shunya program again? Yes or no? Like you don't need to attend the Shunya program again. You just need to volunteer for the Shunya program. And once you volunteer for the Shunya program, you can go through the entire program again. Yes, awesome. Yeah, Janana has given the answer. Volunteer. Awesome. So Janana is saying like, do you have any advice to strengthen ability to the dharana? So Sadhguru has advised that whatever we're not interested in, we cannot maintain the attention. For example, like I think like everybody has passed through the teenage life. I've also passed through. I'm like too old for that one, but I think many of you are already still like in the teenage life. So basically, at that time, your attraction towards the opposite sex is very strong, and in that type of cases, like the dharana is actually taking place automatically. Okay, so you cannot forget about the another person. Like the dharana is on, but the problem is like it's very compulsive in nature, and then if something goes wrong, you want to break that dharana, and then you'll go mad. So, so because of that reason, that if you want to do dharana, or which basically means like maintain that awareness and sustain that concentration, then you have to add, just like Sadhguru says, you need to add certain kind of emotion, sweetness of emotion, if not the devotion. If you have a devotion, like dharana will come naturally. So if you don't have a devotion, then like you can add certain kind of love and attention towards the flower or anything. That is what also is referred as the bhakti sadhana also. So through bhakti, like if you add a little bit of emotion, sweetness of emotion, or bhakti, like the dharana will become automatic. So that is the reason, like if you are watching your breath, like you watch your breath very lovingly, because breath is the only thing that is with you from the birth till shedding this body. So the breath has been there from the birth till the shedding of this body. So we can have that only. Anish Dattana, please tell what burns karma before it manifests. All the sadhana, no? Like please do all the sadhana from Isha. Like all these sadhanas are designed to burn the karma, and they will provide other possibilities also. Okay, please do the sadhana. I tried lucid dreaming, and I think it worked for me. Is astral projection worth exploring? Sadhguru has actually created a video on this one, like not created a video, but there's a recording Sadhguru talking about it. You can check it out. For me, like if you ask me, like for me personally, like I wouldn't be exploring all this because if Sadhguru has given like these crazy possibilities, awesome possibilities, there's no time for like exploring other things. It's my personal opinion. Again, like I cannot actually say it is right or wrong for others. Okay, life since 2.5. Anna is in a timeless time zone. Okay, all of us are in the timeless dimension. Okay, so after Bhairavi sadhana, when I go in a small ego, it feels like a car. I don't feel like opening my mouth. Oh, that's beautiful. So like after doing any kind of sadhana, whatever happens, it's okay. Like just enjoy it, isn't it? So there's no need to analyze anything. So the first thing is do not analyze anything, because like we are in this mess only because of analysis only. We have analyzed the physical situation and we are in a mess. Now we are doing sadhana and we start analyzing again. We'll get into the same mess. Okay, so whatever happens, like please do not analyze. That is what I've understood through my experience. Where do you get this relentless energy to explore powerful places? Sadhana only, no? Like it's just the sadhana and like a Sadhguru's grace and his energies. So if you really become offering, Sadhguru has given a possibility that if you offer yourself completely, you will not only be in his grace, but you will be in his shoes. So I think like you guys know already like what I mean by that. So. Okay, my voice has not changed. Blissful seeker, is there any connection between science of consecration and Vastu Shastra? Yes, of course, like depending upon the type of the consecration, but if you are doing like everything is actually associated, but Sadhguru will be the best person to answer this. But I 100% know that like a Vastu Shastra is 100% related. The time of the consecration, the date of the consecration, astrology, all these things are like 100% related and everything. There are far more things like which are actually beyond the scope of what we refer as the science in terms of like a Vastu Shastra and astrology and everything also. So there's a 100% connection with that one. And also depends on the type of the considerations also. I will not go too much deeper into that one because it's not useful for like everyone. So, how to deal with closely related people who are against your spiritual journey? Okay, just like I wouldn't advise anything. Like you just do your best. You just do your best, and if you just need to become like the good example. Okay, after doing the sadhana. If you are doing the sadhana and like you are becoming, agitating to other people, then of course like they will become angry. You can just like become, show them that like you have become better after your sadhana. That's the only way you can do it. Anna, do you get vision of the future anytime? Actually, like a Sadhguru has asked to focus on your sadhana, not about the vision. So I cannot actually answer that one question. Okay, so Raja Venkatesan. Okay, that's a good question. Although, okay, Monika is asking how to control our emotions. How can balance them? So you should not try to control emotions. You should not try to control emotions. Again, I think like this kind of questions. I think like Sadhguru has already answered too many times. If you do our sadhana, with sadhana and everything, I think like Shamayi Mahamudra practice is going to, Sadhguru has already told, like it is going to create the balance within our system. So rather than trying to control the external things, if you bring the balance within your system, like that is enough. If you're doing one sadhana, like Shambhavi, it is not working, like I tried to do it twice. Even if like it is not working, if you think you can reach out to the Ishanga and you can just like join the inner engineering program again or volunteer for it and then see that like whether you are doing the practices correctly or not. So if you still feel like it is not working much, like you can add more practices. You please like ask. I can there are some of the things that you can do, but since I'm not the Ishanga, I cannot actually recommend them directly to you. Please speak to the Ishanga for balancing, and you can also write to Isha. You can also write to the email address also. Okay. So Kriya support @ishayoga.org. Okay. How to control overthinking? Okay, that's the same question. Okay. So you just please do like a inner engineering program. Okay. If you have not done it already. So once the balance will come within your system and it will work by itself. It has helped to millions of people. So limbo.eme, like how to accept death. You can accept death only if you have accepted life. It is that simple because there's no difference between the life and death. That is the whole process of like going through spirituality. We want to know like who we were before our birth and what will become after death. So we need to live life in a fullest so that we'll come to understand like what death is through experience. So I suggest like you please like go through inner engineering program if you have not done it. If you have done it, like please go through advanced programs. So if you really want to accept these kind of questions are coming through, you can go through like VSP, Shunya, and Samyama also. Okay, so these are for the that can actually give you a lot of clarity and spiritual possibilities also. Anna, what do you mean by ramp up your sadhana? So ramp up the sadhana basically means that, if you are doing Shambhavi once, like do it twice, do it with more involvement, with devotion. If you are doing Shakti Chalana Kriya, like you can increase the cycles of your Kapalvatis. There are different kind of things you can do. You can learn Kriya Yogas and all that kind of stuff. So be more intense. That's what it is. Okay, namaskaram, Anna. So. Okay, I'll take like next 10 minutes only. I think like it's going to be very intense for everybody. So only 20 people are left. So I'll just like go through some of the questions. Okay. So what do you think needs to happen to revive temples and tantra in Nepal? Okay. So Zainana has asked the question. Very, very important. If we want to revive the temples and tantra in Nepal, so many meditators, there are two ways. Many meditators have to go to these temples and meditate over there outside. So they will see the importance, they see the demand, okay, because if there is no one coming and meditating in the temples will never be revived. That is one thing. If some of the temples are losing their energies, they need to be consecrated. There are people like available, like we can do that. The third thing is basically we need to make the people who are taking care of the temple also the meditators, Isha meditators, so they can understand the significance. Without understanding the significance, then it's not going to work. So I think that is a very short answer. And that is actually one of the primary objectives of, this yatra also. So does the grace of the Guru or Guru Mandala continue after they left the world too? What has been the experience of samadhis of the great beings? Okay. So this is a very, very question and very, very relevant with the yatra. So I'm going to answer this. So does the grace of the Guru or Guru Mandala continues after? Yeah, 100%. So Guru will be always be there, just like Sadhguru has already mentioned. The relationship between the Guru and then the disciple is not about the body or the mind, but it's the energy process. So because of that reason, like the grace of the Guru continues. Not only grace, like the Guru has various capabilities also. I'll not go too much into that one. Like I've seen and experienced in too many places. So what has been your experience of the samadhis of the great beings? Samadhis of great beings are like crazy, crazy places. These are the must visit places. If you have to choose between the temples and the samadhis to do your sadhana, if you are a seeker, then like samadhis are the best place to meditate rather than the temples itself, because the temples are not actually designed for your liberation. Many of the temples are designed for the well-beings or like a different kind of other aspects of life. But samadhis of the great beings are like they are geared towards enlightenment or self-realization, what we refer to, or the liberation or moksha or satori or nirvana, whatever you want to say. So basically like the samadhis are very, very powerful and the most conducive one for meditate. Okay, so you should choose that one. What was the most energetically charged temple space you have been to? So I want like give few of the examples. Again, like the experiences can vary depending upon people to people. Like this is my experience. Okay, so this is very subjective. So the most powerful temples, of course, like Sadhguru Sri Brahma, samadhis are also there. Samadhi places where he had done the samadhi, not his actual samadhi. Okay. Now, like you are talking about the energy charts, there are different aspects of it. But Kamakhya is one thing, like I cannot ignore. Kamakhya is like a very, very, very energetically charged place. And another place is basically the Kailash, of course. Kailash cannot be ignored. I've been there 2 times. This time was like even more crazier. Like I'm planning to go as long as I can. That is the only place like I want to visit again and again. Of course, for various reasons. And there is another place is basically one of the place that I actually find like a very, very powerful in my experience and everything is the Amarnath actually. So Amarnath is a place where like it is said Shiva actually initiated Parvati into like 112 different processes. So wherever the consecration has happened or like a different kind of initiation happens, these places has actually retain that energy. And then after that, like many yogis has also made use of it, and their energies has also added over there. But now, like since we are living in the 21st century, and between that period, a lot of things has happened in this wonderful, glorious, like a 24, like a Indian subcontinent. So many things have changed, but yeah, that is the another very powerful. There are many other places also, like which I cannot share it here. So, but these are the most popular places, like I want to share. And one of the another place, like if you want to make use of it, is the Ramana Mandiram. Okay, Ramana Mandiram is a place where like a Ramana Maharshi actually got enlightened. That place is like crazy. Okay, so a very raw energy is there. It's just next to the Meenakshi Amman temple. There are like nearly like countless like samadhis are around the like the Meenakshi Amman temple in like Madurai. Okay, so countless are there. Like even there are too many samadhis inside the temple itself. We still do not know the history and like how come all these samadhis actually came there. Like we don't really know. It's just like a mystery to me. Just like in Nepal, maybe somebody knows. Okay, but Ramana Mandiram is a place like there's no consideration, there's no house or nothing, like no idol, nothing is there. Okay, but these two floors, like the first floor, ground floor, and a top floor, it's cracking with like a crazy energies. That's what like you can go over there and then you can tell what enlightenment is. You can test what it is, because like that is a place like where he actually got enlightened. I think like around the age of like 15, 16 something. Okay, so that is a place. I would say like even though you may not be able to visit all this, Kamakya, I wouldn't recommend you to visit, like go and meditate there for extended period of time, unless you have been oriented towards that way. Like but it's good to like go and like see, because that is one place like I would say like it's not only powerful, but like overpowered in my experience. Okay, I didn't even enter the sanctum, so it was quite crazy. I wouldn't have even like if somebody has asked me to go in. So it like the experience energy stayed in my system for like even like a next year also. So if you're looking for the enlightenment, then you should be sure like what should go into your system and what should not. Okay, it's just like eating a food. After being in a path where I don't feel like, okay, I think these are the things. Okay, and sometimes when you talk, it seems like you're stoned, but with a higher power. Okay, this is the same thing. I think like answer. I think like I've answered all the questions. Like if you guys have any question, you can raise. We'll end in like 2 minutes. Okay, so. I'm from Jammu, and Amarnath is 4 hours away. Wow, awesome, Anna. That's very, very awesome. He's learning Vipassana from Dhamma and Shambhavi. No, completely different. Shambhavi is like completely different. Vipassana is more like Vipassana can happen without a guru also. Shambhavi is like you are using, for example, it's just like I wouldn't want to like compare both of them and like give different things, but since like I've done both of them, Shambhavi is like a more effective for the 21st century people. Okay, so that is the only thing I can say. Like I don't want to get into trouble by doing different kind of comparison here. If one still has ambitions and want better things, Anna, like everybody wants materialistic things. Okay, you must have seen that like all the yogis want to have rings, and that is also materialistic thing. Okay, so everybody is materialistic. Okay, that is fine. That's not an issue. If you do your sadhana, then like you cannot avoid materialism. The body is a material anyway. So just do your sadhana. That's good. Yeah. Just do not make your materialistic goals like too big that it is going to take entire space. Can you please share about the solar flares and solar activity, which would say it peak in this and coming years? How would it be impacting us? Okay, I'll give you like Sadhguru has already like spoken a lot about this one, and that is one of the reason Margari sadhana is also there. But I'll share a little bit my perspective, just adding on that one. So basically, what actually happens is this solar flares has been there for a long period of time, just like the sun actually, the moon actually takes, let's say, 28 days to go around the Earth, and then like the sun takes 365 days. similar to that one, the sun also takes around, going through like a 12 years of cycle. Okay. So if you can actually see like a Google and everything, like solar flares or something like that. So around like 11.78, I think like an average around that time. I also did that research few years back. So around like an average of 11.78 years or something, that the solar flares intensity actually becomes the higher, and possibly that is the reason, like people in the past, whether they were not aware of this kind of things or something, they've actually seen what is the activity happening to the people born in certain lifetime, okay, certain years or something. And that is, I think, again, this is just a conjecture. I think if you know like the Chinese people or people living in Nepal and Bhutan or something, they all use like a 12-year animal year is there. For example, like people will have, they are born in the year of the monkey, they are born in the year of the dragon, year of the chicken, and something like that. So there's a 12-year cycle. Okay, so that is the reason, like it is said that every 12 cycles something is going to happen to you. But like in this case, like this solar activity is not actually related with that one, but it is the cycle with the sun. So in this case, like what is going to happen is, just like Sadhguru has already mentioned, I don't need to add more into this one. Okay, so if we do sadhana, then like we'll be better prepared for whatever is going to happen to you, because eventually like we are all solar powered beings. So it is going to just like a ramp up everything within us. So if it is directed towards certain way, like it is going to amplify it that way. It's just like accelerating, throttling towards whatever direction you are geared towards. So Isha Devi, I attended Avigna Yantra. I felt stoned for 3 days and avoided all practice for 3 years. I wanted to explain something, but wasn't prepared. Any advice? Again, like if you want to ask, like please speak with the Swami or the Ishanga. But based on my experience, like you can start practicing with the Hatha Yoga practices. Okay, Hatha Yoga is going to prepare you to handle, higher dimensions of energies. Okay, you can practice with Surya Shakti and then Angamardana. Again, like I'm not the Hatha Yoga teacher. There are many Hatha Yoga teachers here, but based on my experiences, like these two practices does not have full spiritual dimension to it, so you can use it. Okay, finally, like somebody has asked this question: what is the significance of not getting your hair and beard cut off? So it has nothing to do it. Like when I had my first spiritual experience at Ramana Maharshi Ashram, I think like around 2016. After that, like I had not cut my hair. Okay, so this hair is going to tell me, the time I had my first spiritual experience. This is a little bit funny. I'm sharing this in this video. And then the beard is basically like I think you guys must have guessed, right? I've not shaved it since my Shambhavi initiation in September 2018. So, which basically means like I didn't have the need to look into the mirror. So it's just growing. Like I just wake up and then I just tie it. Like I don't even comb it. Like so, you can say that. So now please share significance of Yogasana. Sadhguru has shared enough. Like it's the entire content in the Isha website also. But I would say that like Yogasanas will help you to explore and meditate better. Okay. So Yogasanas is mandatory if you want to sit for meditation for a long period of time. In my experience, again. Okay. I'm not the Hatha Yoga teacher, so I cannot actually tell you like okay, how to get energy level enlightenment quickly and what are the practices to do it? Okay, Partha has asked this question. So energy level enlightenment, please go through all the advanced programs of Isha. Like for example, like if one samyama is not good enough, go for second samyama, third samyama, fourth samyama. Go for first BSP, second BSP, third BSP. So you should not stop until you do it. Okay, so last 2 minutes. I think like it's tiring for all of you also. So Imbuana said, can you give small explanation of Akashic energy? So so this is like a Sadhguru has already created a video on this one. Okay, so you can explore that one, Anna. Okay. Can you tell us how Linga Vairavi fulfill our ambitions? So, okay, I'll take like a one final two questions. So, can you tell us how Linga Vairavi fulfill our ambitions? So, basically, like uh, it's I would not directly go directly to like only Linga Vairavi, but all the Devi temples, of course, based on my experiences and everything. Because like all the deities that actually has got, or the Devis actually has got most of the temples that are in the middle of the city and everything, they are mostly consecrated with the lower chakras. Okay. So there are the lower chakras they are consecrated with. So lower chakras, if you look from the point of view, like you can find all of these in the Sadhguru Exclusive as well as the YouTube channel. Sadhguru has talked a lot about the significance of the chakras and everything. So lower chakras are concentrated with how to connect. That is another chakra. And then comes the about like a goal seeking, striving and everything, mostly with the Manipuraka chakra. It's about like a pleasure and then like a, exoticness in life and everything. That is the Swadhisthana chakra, and then the maintenance will come through the Muladhara chakra. So when you go through Devi temples, which has got like a lower chakras consecrated with that one with powerful form or something, that is going to energize these chakras in your system itself. Through which like now, rather than your energies going here or there or something like that, now your system is more fluid. And with the grace of the Devis and Linga Vairavi and everything, you will be like in Sadhguru's words, how well your system is going to work is completely going to determine by how much like there's no friction. Okay. So for example, like if there is too much friction in the system, then you are just like struggling with it, with yourself. You will not be able to be effective. Okay. So because of that reason, like it is when you go to the Devi temples like Linga Vairavi Devi and like other Devi temples, like they are going to energize your lower chakras, so that like now like there's no friction within yourself. So you will be able to live effectively, and that energy is going to help you navigate through life more effortlessly. And that's why the reason like even though people like who have never done meditation, or even they are not experiencing those energies, they're able to have children also. Like you must have heard a lot of stories that people have no children and they go to a temple and come back and then they are able to have children, only because now like your chakras are now functioning at their best, at peak. So that's how like Linga Vairavi is the most powerful and most conducive deity of the 21st century. And you can also take her home through the Vairavi offering programs from Isha. So how to manage, okay, like a practice, this questions has to, a lot of these questions has to go to Swamis and Ishangas, okay? So I'll not take practice related questions. Okay, again, like too many questions, okay? Like that, I'll ignore all the practice related questions. So I'll take like a one final question, okay? Yeah, short answer, like yes, Linga Vairavi is consecrated by Sadhguru. All the forms consecrated by from Isha are all from Sadhguru's energies only. How much time it takes for you to get energy level enlightenment? So there's no timeline. Okay, this is the final question I'll take. I'll not be able to address all the question, unfortunately, because like a lot of people are feeling tired, a lot of questions. So how much time it is going to take in terms of like enlightenment or something? Like I'll tell you a small story and then we'll end it. Okay. So I'll tell you a simple story. I think like many of you have heard this story a long time back. So there was a guy who was doing sadhana. Okay, he was doing sadhana, like a hardcore sadhana and everything, and he was doing very hardcore sadhana, all kind of practices he was doing. Okay, and one day like he met a yogi, enlightened being came to his way, and then he asked that like Swami, like how much time will I take to get enlightened? He asked, and the Swami actually told him that like can you see how many trees are there in this forest? And he said like yes, I can see like there are like maybe 100 200 trees I can see from here, he said. And the Swami said that like it will take like that many lifetimes. And that guy got frustrated. Okay. And similarly like the Swami was walking by, and he came across another yogi. Another yogi was also doing the sadhana full steam, okay, doing energetically and all that kind of different kind of practices and everything he's doing. Now this guy, again, like the Swami was coming from that side, and then he bowed down to the Swami and asked, Swami, like how much time do I take to get enlightened? And the Swami again pointed to the trees and said that, how many leaves are in this tree? Okay. And then he said, like, I cannot count, Swami, he said. And then he said that, like, this many lifetimes it is going to take. And that yogi, our yogi, jumped with joy. He said that only this many lifetimes? Oh my God, I thought like it is going to take forever. Thank you, Swami. And then he just got enlightened at that moment. Okay. So it's not about the time, like, time is just the illusion. We just need to make use of like what is available to us. And we just need to do the sadhana that is available to us. Like all this game, like, how much time of sadhana, how many sadhana, goal orientation and everything. These are the things like we need to look from different perspective. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining in today and giving me the opportunity to share whatever I have learned and known and experienced through the grace of Sadhguru. So it's a privilege that, this many beings are available here digitally. It's more like a digital Sangha for me. So thank you very much. If you have any practice correction questions, like please always ask with Ishangas and Swamis, or write to kriyasupport@ishayoga.org. Do not ask with any people, like do not try to advise on any other people. It is not only going to mislead other people, but you can also get caught in the karmic cycle. Like, please don't do that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I think like I've already answered about the fulfillment. So before I log out, like a fulfillment basically means like you don't need to go anywhere. Like that's it. Now your seeking has ended. That's what it is. Currently, like we're running from one place. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and good night. So hopefully, like we'll be doing like if necessary in the near future. We do not know. So. Okay, thank you.